emergency order for the Trump administration to stop firing workers during the government shutdown. The judge calling it a human cost that cannot be tolerated and accusing the administration of not thinking through its decisions. House Speaker Mike Johnson just telling Fox he expects an appeal.
The White House is dug in. They will do what is required of them, and that is to triage federal spending because Chuck Schumer and the Democrats decided to turn it off.
He says the government has to reopen before talks Democrats want on health care issues can happen. But House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries blames Republicans for not negotiating now.
We are ready, we are willing, and we are able to negotiate a bipartisan spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people.
A short-term spending plan that already passed the House, just failing for a 9th time in the Senate. President Trump just signing a memo directing the War Secretary to use funds available to ensure active-duty military personnel get paid. An emergency landing for the Pentagon chief. A Pentagon spokesman just confirming Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's plane had a crack in the windshield and had to make an unscheduled landing in the UK as he was heading back to the U.S. from a NATO defense ministers meeting. The statement says the plane landed based on standard procedures and that everyone on board is safe. Secretary Hegseth just posting all good, thank God, continue mission. The Israeli military just confirming another transfer of hostage bodies from Gaza as the pace of those returns and Hamas violence continue to test a fragile ceasefire.
Hamas gunmen have been summarily executing Palestinians in public squares who they line up and shoot, accusing them of being collaborators with Israel and then releasing the videos to the public. Without any international security force in place, armed Hamas fighters are filling the vacuum.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin in Tel Aviv. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Rain is supposed to arrive in Indiana Saturday night. You've got a cloudy sky and it's 70 degrees in the Circle City. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 3:02. It will also linger into Sunday morning.
Still have a little bit of uncertainty with this. A lot of our model guidance has been kind of all over the place with timing on it.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says the southern part of the state is supposed to get the most rain while smaller amounts are expected further north. Johnson County Coroner Mike Pruitt was released from jail today after posting a $3,000 cash bond. John Herrick reports.
In a Tuesday bond hearing, Pruitt pleaded not guilty to 7 misdemeanor counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and 7 misdemeanor counts of furnishing alcohol to a minor. Police say, among other things, he harassed and stalked a teenage girl. The judge also issued a requirement that 2 no-contact orders be in place and served before he could bond out. A pretrial hearing is set for December 9th. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Workers at the Horseshoe Casino in Shelbyville say it's time to unionize, and they say they support is strong, according to a Tuesday rally.
92% majority voted for a strike authorization.
The workers say that after their wages and tips are counted, they're actually earning less than minimum wage.
Corporate has become increasingly focused on profits over people.
The union vote is on hold because the government shutdown has temporarily closed the agency that oversees the election. The Indiana Pacers wrap up the preseason Friday night as they take on the San Antonio Spurs for an 8 Eastern tip-off. The regular season begins next Thursday when they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and Indy Parks unveiled nearly $3 million in new improvements today at Franklin Township Community Park. The renovation is funded by a Lilly Endowment grant, and it includes a new playground, pickleball and basketball courts, and paved trails. The improvements intend to provide a real material change in how Franklin Township families enjoy their neighborhood. News time, 3:04. Your traffic and weather in 1 minute.
By now, you've heard about IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's a way to claim your unclaimed property from the Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division. It's not a scam. It's not houses, boats, cars, or storage facilities. It isn't free money. So what exactly is it? It's your money. It belongs to you, and it's waiting for you to claim it. It's money from unclaimed wages or commissions, forgotten bank accounts, underlying shares, refunds, insurance proceeds, stock dividends, safe deposit box contents, overpayments, certificates of deposit, money orders, and more. The Indiana Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division safeguards those funds while trying to locate and return those funds to the owner or heir. It's your money. You deserve it. and the Attorney General's office wants to make sure you get it. The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220. That's Hammer and Nigel to 46220. Or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Traffic at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Bear.
What's happening, Jake? Looking at southbound 6570, stop and go because of construction. Michigan Street down to the south split. Northbound 65 slows. Raymond Street into the south split. And on the north side, eastbound 465 slow from Ditch to Meridian. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy Bonded is back with even more easy presents for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mainly cloudy conditions today. It is going to be on the cooler side with highs near 71. A few clouds tonight in Chile, upper 40s near 50 in Indianapolis. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Do you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! Party people and the place to be. I remember you guys. Let me be the latest to introduce myself. My name is Jason Hammer. I am one half of the Hammer and or Nigel show. Good to be back. Was in the sticks for a little while, and man, great trip. Talk about that here in just a little bit. Nigel's still on vacation with his family and becoming a regular here on this program. Coming out of the bullpen, the dude, Jim, Casey's husband. We were talking off the air. What's the proper way to introduce you?
Yeah, all three of those work. I'll answer to anything. It's funny when you just start hanging around a radio station long enough. They're like, hey, you busy? Maybe fill in for Nigel when he's gone? I was like, sure, of course. Yeah, I'd love to.
Like you've spent the whole damn day here, like hanging out, and now you're...
I guess I'm, part of. I don't work here yet, so I guess this is just fun. So it's volunteer and a good time.
So whenever there's like a major mistake that happens, you can be like Kramer and Seinfeld, but I don't even really work here.
Right. What do you got in that briefcase? Crackers, of course. Yeah.
Well, thank you for hanging out. We're gonna have some fun, and I'm not sure how many people remember the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. There's a scene in that classic Jim Carrey film where he's starting to figure out that the kicker of the Dolphins is also the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. And this brings me to AES and BlackRock.
Oh, man.
Because honestly, they both have the same goal, Jim. Screwing people like us.
Raising your rates.
Raising the bejesus out of your rates. Now, it's no secret on this program. I've had my issues with the AES people before. I've made it perfectly clear. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. You can't spell outages without A-E-S. And yet they've basically got a monopoly on where I can get my power. So I'm stuck with these people. Customer service is atrocious. They keep wanting to raise the rates. And now this long-rumored sale to BlackRock seems like it's starting to shake down. And guess what, Jim? BlackRock also wants to drop my britches and stick it where the sun doesn't shine and raise the rates even more.
Yeah, nothing ruins a good business more than private equity coming in and taking over. We've heard this before about restaurants, especially various different restaurants. Private equity comes in, they cut costs, they reduce staff, change the food. It's never a good sign. So we're already starting with something we're struggling with, and now we're getting private equity and BlackRock coming in. I don't think, I mean, is there any hope of us being able to stop this? Was that good?
Oh, Jim, you and your drugs.
Oh.
AES, they already want to jack up your rates about $21 for an average. Not just the average. Some people are going to be a lot more than that. They want to raise your electric bills by an average of $21 a month, okay? And again, that's at the low end of the spectrum. BlackRock looks at that and laughs. They scoff. They shake their head with derision because they want to make it even higher than that. So my question to the lawmakers here in this state, and I know that you listen, and some of you text me all the time, what are you going to do about it? What would you say you do here? Jim, I'm giving the speech like the Bobs would give an interview in Office Space. What would you say you do here? You guys are really good at coming up with different ways to pass laws that are important to some, but not to many. This is a big deal here. Like this upcoming General Assembly session, we've got some big things on the line here. Law and order at a state level, and what are we going to do about the energy costs?
Never forget that one of the biggest lobbying organizations at the State House every time the General Assembly is in session is energy. So this has always been a big push for the energy lobbyists, and I have to believe, we have to have the lawmakers approve any rate increase, or at least the Indiana, Utility Regulatory Commission, which is, appointed by the lawmakers. So, if these guys are getting lobbied hard by the utilities to start with, BlackRock comes in and buys them. They're not a soup kitchen. They're not buying AES just to kind of make people happy. No, they want to make their money. More rate increases are coming across, and they're lobbying the politicians hard every single year to make sure that they can get those rate increases through.
And let's be honest, Republicans have been in charge when a lot of this stuff has gone on here. Like, we always like to point at the Democrats for ridiculous things that happen around the country. But if you lock in here in your own backyard, because the ineptitude of the current Democrat Party in the state of Indiana, Republicans have been able to act like Democrats and get away with it.
Well, the lobbyists aren't lobbying Democrats because they have no power whatsoever.
Right.
So they're the ones hitting up the Republicans. It's the Republicans that are getting taken out to steak dinners and all sorts of fancy sporting events and other things like that by these energy lobbyists.
And they know they can take those dinners and take those wink-wink bribes because they're still going to win the election.
Absolutely right. They've got no fear of being primary. They know that we've redistricted and reorganized everything into where there are very few competitive elections anywhere, both from the federal elections and the state elections. So as long as you can get past your primary and you're a Republican in most districts, you're pretty much guaranteed to win when it comes to election day.
Steve on the YouTube chat. Hammer and Dude, do you want government-controlled energy companies? No, I want competition.
Exactly. That's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for is some competition, or at least somebody that will be in there fighting for us. And the Kendall and Casey show, they've been talking a lot about these new board members on the IURC. They're going to be getting appointed here pretty soon. And Rob's been pushing for Casey to be one of them. Don't think that's probably going to happen. But his point is really valid because he's always talking about, not one person who sits on these boards is advocating for the consumer, is advocating for the voter. They all come with energy backgrounds, which means they all worked in the energy industry.
Competition makes everything better. We'll see what happens. I'm not optimistic. You guys know me. I'm a gambling guy. I'm not optimistic that anything positive is going to happen for folks like us. You may have heard this in the news a little bit earlier. We've got some good old-fashioned blackjack drama. And I'm not talking about how you could, split sevens on the table and then you have to double down and your whole bankroll's on the table and you get beat. Not that I've ever had that happen to me. But we've got drama for the dealers, the blackjack dealers, the poker dealers, the card dealers. So down at Shelbyville Horseshoe Casino, which is owned by Caesars, it sounds like the dealers are getting ready to go out on a strike. They were supposed to have this big union come to Jesus meeting, and it looks like that's not going to happen. Government shutdown has prevented a lot of things from going on here. So a lot of the dealers are like, look, this joint's bringing in a lot of money, and they're paying us crumbs. We deserve a little bit better than that, because I'm not going to act like the job is super challenging, but you're dealing with some, shall we say, people like myself from time to time.
Some people that maybe gone there, had a few cocktails.
Right.
You got some money on the line here.
You get beat with a 20. Oh, kiss
Come
my.
on.
Right. Like, they got to deal with that.
It's like being a bartender.
Exactly.
You've got to deal with the people when they get belligerent and they get upset and they get angry, and you're the only one that's staring back at them in the face, so they're going to take it out on you.
Right. And some of the dealers have reached out to me. They're looking for a new deal. So it sounds like more than 200 dealers voted last week to authorize a strike with Teamsters Local 135. That's the union that already represents the slot attendants, the warehouse workers at the Shelbyville Casino. Now, the Shelbyville Casino put out a statement It was basically from their bosses at Caesars. And I'm paraphrasing here. Staff is important. If they do strike, we support what they're trying to do. But rest assured, we will still have people in here dealing the cards if you want to come and enjoy a nice night at the casino. Here's what I know about this casino, and I've worked there. This was the one that I worked at. Now, this was 10 years ago, and I'm sure times have changed. Yes, it brings in a lot of money, but the state of Indiana makes it so hard for these places to turn a decent profit. That's why so many of them have to file bankruptcy within the first 5 or 6 years. Shelbyville had to do that. It was Indiana Live, then it became Indiana Grand, a couple different sales and name changes. But the state of Indiana, because it was one of the closest ones to Indianapolis, along with Anderson, they just got railroaded on taxes. So for a long time, and I think they finally changed this, but 50 cents on the dollar of every thing that went into a slot machine went to the state of Indiana. Now, again, that was during my time. It's different. I think it's a less number now, but it's not the cash cow you think it is, because the morons that decided to pass all the licensing and reviews for these places thought that it was going to be like New Year's Eve, Times Square, 365 days a year, when the real reality is it's in the middle of a cornfield in Shelbyville. And if you walk in there at 10:30 at night on a random Wednesday, there's plenty of places to sit down and play, if you know what I'm saying.
You know, and I was surprised at this because I've been saying for weeks that, hey, federal government shutdown. How do you know? It hasn't affected my life at all. This may be one of the actual first things that comes about, and something I never would have thought of, and the fact that they can't hold this vote because the National Labor Relations Board is furloughed or, on limited capacity because of the federal government shutdown.
Which brings us to great moments in blackjack history. This is when Austin Powers was dealt a 5.
5. I'll stay. I suggest you hit, sir.
I also like to live dangerously.
As you wish, sir. 20 beats your 5.
I'll stay on a 5. Do we got time for one more? Allison, can we do one more? Great moments in blackjack history. This is one that just hits close to me, Jim. Clark Griswold at the table, and he can't catch a break.
Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
Great moments in blackjack history. Matt Baer, what's going on, buddy?
All right, Hammer, welcome back. Southbound 6570, stop and go traffic. Michigan Street down to the south split because of construction. Eastbound 465 slow before Keystone Avenue over to I-69. That's a 2-minute delay. And on the east side, southbound 465 slow from 70 down to South Shadeland Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy Bunted is back with even more easy present for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Yeah, the dealers are saying they're making $6 an hour, which is absurd because they're supposed to be getting tips, but it's not like a bar. I heard you mention like a bartender has to deal with this crap.
Right.
But not everybody's tipping the dealer at a blackjack table. Some people run out of money and they just walk away. Like
that's usually me. Yeah, usually I play until I got nothing left, and I'm sorry, but the dealer didn't get anything out of me.
Right. If I'm down to my last $10 here, it's going on the table.
Exactly.
But they're supposed to be able to get tips, but it sounds like that's not enough to cover a
real wage, what they should be making.
Right. For those who buy into the living wage argument, I don't necessarily do, but there's too many cheapskates, especially around the Shelbyville area. Guys, I know this. I was there. I was in that joint working for a long time. Some of y'all don't tip, and that's unfortunate because these folks are out there working pretty hard. It's 70 right now. Beautiful day at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up next, got to tell you a little bit about my trip. It was awesome. Man, beautiful country out there. And if we have some time, we'll give you a reason to drink tonight as well. Come on back.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how retailers become constantly connecting must-visit shops. How restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. how healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on, and how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with our reliable business internet. Plus, stay connected when you add Wi-Fi backup for just $35 a month. And ask about a $400 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Call today. Restrictions apply. Wireless Connect requires business internet for additional monthly charge. Taxes and other fees extra. Prepaid card offer ends 11/16/25.
Hammer here for our guy, Bill Demery. Bill Demery, my retirement guy, should totally be your retirement guy. And if your retirement savings are tied up in the market, this could be the smart time to protect and grow your savings outside of Wall Street. One attractive option is the 20% upfront bonus plan. Bill Demery can walk you through this. Here's how it works. If you have $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. So now we're talking about $240,000. That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in the first year. So in theory, you could take $200,000, turn it to $264,000 just by sitting around, eating chips, drinking beer like a goon, and trusting Bill Demery. At least that's the way that I do it. Your experience may differ. But joking aside, Bill Demery is the best in the business. Call him today. Set up that first free consultation. 317-648-5120. That's 648-5120. He will make sense of all of this and walk you through it. I promise you're going to love the experience. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
This is Denny Smith, and C&J's having a water quality sale of whole home protection for what matters the most. Better water for your family. Remove forever chemicals, solids, and metals from the water you cook with and drink. Invest in a softener and a reverse osmosis, UV, or dechlorinator and save $400. Invest in 2 components and save $800. City water or well water, C&J, official partner of the Indiana Pacers and Fever, has great systems and great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
Struggling with chronic joint pain? Don't want risky surgery or endless pills? QC Kinetics is your answer. Our non-invasive treatment stimulates your body's own biologics and has a fantastic success rate without lengthy recovery or harmful medications. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. Whether it's stem cell, PRP, or a number of other revolutionary therapies, QC Kinetics should be the last call you make. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Good to be back with you guys. I'm Hammer. Jim filling in for Big Nige today. Jump over to the YouTube chat. Get in the mix with your fellow listeners here. I got to be honest. I have never been to the part of country that I visited this past week. The Wyoming, Jackson area. Jackson Hole, as it's known as. Grand Teton National Park, Yellowstone National Park. Great experience, man. Not only did I see some amazing scenery, but I went up to Yellowstone and beat the piss out of Rip.
Did you see him there?
Took his hat off and wore it home.
Did he introduce himself when you crossed the border into the city? Glad to meet you. I'm Rip, the unofficial mayor.
Where you're looking for is back the way you came, kid. No, it's just beautiful country. Like, I posted pictures on my social media like every tourist would do. And the pictures can't even do this place justice. Like, it was so beautiful with the mountains and the blue sky, the big, huge critters, the buffalo, the moose with the huge crank running around the woods, man. Like, just, one, it made me feel inadequate, but two, it was also beautiful at the same time.
Oddly beautiful. Okay, now I've got some questions for you. Now, so what you're telling me is, despite the federal government shutdown, national parks, at least in that part of the country, were open.
Correct. Now, this was what was great. You pull up to, like, the station to get in. Normally, they charge, like, $30 a car.
Yeah.
Nobody was working. So if you want to go to a big national park like that, now is the time. Because we did Grand Teton and Yellowstone. Not a single worker at the front gate, drove right through. And there are still some rangers in there working. People are still working, but nobody at the check-in booth. So bada bing, bada boom, we were in and out, man.
That's perfect. And then the next question is, this seems like a departure, because I'm a big Hammer and Nigel fan. I listen to the show every day. So normally it seems to me you kind of gravitate more toward the beach vacations.
Beach or Vegas?
Yeah. So what was the driver for you to kind of go out to Wyoming and do national parks and scenery instead?
So this is the work of my rotten youngest son, Jacob, who fights me on everything, right? But he's going to be my kid that's studying to be a park ranger and park scientist.
Oh, really? Okay.
So he's senior in high school now, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to go to Indy and study all that stuff. And Christmas gift last year, we said, all right, pick any national park you want to go to, and we'll go. That's, what we did. His brother got a trip. He got a trip. Yep. Bada bing, bada boom. So he's like, I want to go to Grand Teton, which I never even heard of. It's like, okay, where the hell is that? And it's in Wyoming. Oh, great. There's like 3 airlines that fly in there, and they all charge an arm and a leg. Great choice, kid. But
Can we just go to Florida again? Are you sure?
How about Beach Grove? Can we go there? But no, we got down there and up there, rather. The airport in Jackson, it's just surrounded by the mountains, white-capped snow mountains. Just, I'm glad we went. It's somewhere I would go back. Like the little town square there, like in Jackson. It's a mix of like the main Broadway street in Nashville and also Nashville, Indiana. Like there's big bars where you see like live music going on and hot chicks in their cowboy boots and dudes in their hats walking in, And then across the street, you can buy apple butter.
Right, because that part, like Jackson Hole, has really attracted a ton of money, and I'm talking about big time, Elon Musk type level money. Yet you're really in the middle of nowhere, so you've got to have that mix of rural and incredible wealth at the same time.
Yeah, Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue's got a big ranch out there. Harrison Ford has a big ranch out there. I think Sandra Bullock's got a big house out there. I mean, it's just beautiful country, man. It is. So if you ever want to just get away and see some like picturesque things in nature, that's it.
And you said you went to Yosemite too.
No, didn't go to Yosemite. Went to Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. That's right. So how far away? Again, I have no concept. I didn't know where Grand Teton was. I have no idea where Yellowstone is either. How far away were they from each other?
So Grand Teton's right there by Jackson. So it was like a 15-minute drive from our hotel. And then Yellowstone, it's almost connected. It's just about another 30, 40 minutes up. But depending on where you want to go, that park is so freaking big. So to drive to Old Faithful, the geyser, it was about an hour and a half from where our hotel would be. And then you start driving around the park to like the hot springs and the big canyon. You spend a lot of time driving from one place to another. The scenery's cool, but I liked Grand Teton a lot better. Like no matter where you turn in that joint, it looks like a picturesque mountain. Now, you did mention Yosemite. I saw this earlier. With the government shut down, squatters are now moving into Yosemite, and they're creating a problem. And there's nobody there to kick them out right now. The Department of the Interior investigating reports of escalating violations at Yosemite, including base jumping, which is illegal in national parks, these people are scaling up like half dome without permits, doing a bunch of unsafe stuff in the park, and squatters, baby, they're just moving in there and making it their own right now because there's nobody to kick them out.
Department of Interior is going to have to get some tips from Tom Homan and ICE, apparently, if they don't get out of there and have to, go in and drag them out, I guess. But it makes sense. I mean, if there's nobody checking the gates on the inside and staffing's at a really low level, you're going to have people that are going to go in there, they're going to set up, they're going to do all the things that you normally have to pay to do or get a permit to do, and it's end of days at the national parks, apparently.
And look, I don't know about Yosemite, but I think if you're a squatter and you're setting up shop in Yellowstone or Grand Teton, you're going to be woken up either by a bear, by an elk, by a big floppy moose unit smacking you in the face.
It really did something to you, didn't it? That must have been, I can't even imagine.
I just looked at my, I looked at that and I texted my wife and I just said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can bring to this that can match what's going on there.
This moose is always going to have one up on me.
The moose was loose, that's for sure. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Police executed many search and arrest warrants. It's cloudy and 70 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 3:31. Police say 3 people are behind bars today after they looked into a prostitution ring for over a year. Detectives say the human trafficking ring was operating out of several businesses that disguised as massage parlors along with a couple of homes. The areas searched include the Sun Spa in Kokomo, the Dahlia Spa in Sunflower Spa in Indianapolis, and homes in Noblesville and Carmel. Yan Yan Zhao, Xingshen Li, and Hui Li were all arrested and face preliminary charges, including corrupt business influence. Rain is supposed to move into Indiana this weekend,
but a lot of details remain uncertain. I'm John Herrick. Showers and thunderstorms are most likely at this point from Saturday night into Sunday. As for if they'll be severe,
now with trends pushing it more into the overnight time frame, that does weaken the overall threat of severe thunderstorms, but there's still a chance. We are seeing the system being overall pretty strong.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says places in central and southern Indiana are likely to get the heaviest amounts of rain with lighter showers further north. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
It's now been over 2 weeks since the government shutdown started, and lawmakers still cannot agree on a spending bill. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is slamming Republicans for the stalemate.
They refuse to negotiate and fix the health care crisis that they themselves created.
Democrats are demanding the bill include an extension of health care subsidies, while President Trump says he'll negotiate, but only after the government reopens. And Lay's is joining the company rebranding trend with new logo and bag designs. The chip giant, which started back in 1938, is putting a big emphasis on its main ingredient, real potatoes, while also repaying homage to the company's long history. WIBC News Time is 3:33. You've got traffic and weather coming up in 1 minute.
It's the Medicare Advantage annual enrollment period, and Humana knows not everyone has the same needs when picking a Medicare Advantage plan.
Now that I'm retired, I want to enjoy the life I've worked hard to build. So I want a plan that covers me when I'm traveling the country.
Humana has a plan for that.
As a veteran, I want a plan that fills in the gaps my VA coverage doesn't provide, like dental care.
Humana has a plan for that.
I feel good about my health. I just want care and coverage with predictable costs. No surprises.
Humana has a plan for that. With a Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you get coverage and benefits that focus on what matters most to you. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
With your WIBC traffic at 334, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Jake, looking at the northeast side, southbound 465 at Fall Creek or before the East 56th Street ramps. That is a crash blocking the right lane. I see a semi over on the right side of the construction on the right shoulder. Eastbound 465 is stop and go. Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Inbound 69. Stop and go traffic 96th Street to 465. Downtown 7-minute delay on southbound 6570. Michigan Street down to the south split and inbound 65 slow round west. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
A few clouds later on tonight. It's going to be on the chilly side, upper 40s near 50 for overnight lows. And for Thursday, more sunshine with highs right around 71. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hammer here for my friends at Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. It's right there by the Green Bridge. You can't miss it. And when you walk into that beautiful showroom, somebody will greet you. The manager, Neve, he is so cool. He has trained his staff on the best customer service. Whoever you get assigned to as your sales rep, rest assured you're going to get the biggest bang for your dollar. Chris is the young lady that I work with. She's my sales rep. So if you walk into Diamonds Direct, make sure you ask Chris, is it true? Jason Hammer is the most athletic, attractive man you've ever seen with your own eyes. And then also ask her, what should I get for my budget? Because every single sales member there are specifically trained to stay within your budget. There's no pressure to spend more than you have. So you will get options and the biggest bang for your buck. When everybody else is trying to rob you blind, the staff at Diamonds Direct, they want to make sure you're comfortable and they want you to come back. And another reason you would come back are the lifetime warranties that they stand by with every purchase. Don't just take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing, right next to the Green Bridge, the official jeweler of the Indianapolis Colts. Tell them Hammer sent you.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Jim, I'm going to say something that might surprise a lot of people.
Okay.
I agree with what liberal columnist James Briggs writes in the Indy Star today.
It happens every now and then. It's not often, but it happens. What was it about?
I agree with the article. It's an opinion piece. Quote, Hogsett let Thomas Cook run Indianapolis. Now his legacy is imploding. It's a story about stuff, well, let's be honest, that we've been talking about for years now. I almost feel like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, that's how bad Hogsett has been, that even a liberal columnist like James Briggs is like, okay, that's enough. We've had enough here.
Right. I mean, imagine if it had been a Republican. Like, throw any name out there. Let's say Todd Rokita, who's a flamethrower for the libs, right? The libs hate Todd Rokita. Imagine if Todd Rokita had a massive sexual harassment scandal and appeared to show up drunk and went missing during riots. Like, the Star would have camped out. CNN would have had trucks down there. It would have been DEFCON 1. Hogsett does it, and he keeps getting reelected.
Well, if it was Rokita, we would have known by now where he was during the riots, because they wouldn't have stopped, and they would have asked the questions again and again until the talking stopped. But apparently this came out of an Indy Mirror/Indy Star article where they dug up this impropriety or the appearance of impropriety, and it's going to be interesting because now we've had all of these Hogsett scandals that have led up to this. We still got 2 more years until the next mayor's election.
Right.
I'm going to be fascinated to see how much more is going to start coming out, because it seems like once these sort of scandals start breaking through and people start paying attention to them, then you get more people from inside the administration that want to talk to reporters, that want to slide them information.
Right.
We've got 2 more years here, and I have this feeling that this isn't going to be the last scandal coming out of that office.
You've worked in Indiana politics. Gut feeling. Hogsett running again?
I think he is now. Yeah, if I had to say so, I think he is now. I think if it was a couple of years ago or right after the last election, I would have said no. But things have changed. Things have changed in his personal life. Things have changed in the political scene.
You know what hasn't changed? He can't get another job.
That's the other part of it too. I mean, all of these politicians, once they go somewhere, I mean, even Eric Holcomb found another job. Took him a little while, but he got one. All of these politicians will find somebody to write him a big check to do nothing and, hold down a job somewhere. But yes, if I had to, gun to my head, betting my paycheck one way or the other, I would say that Hogsett is going to run again in 27.
He always said that the last election was his last one. But you're right. He thought he'd get some cushy gig at a university or the head of some think tank.
Board of directors on something, some big group or company that pays a lot of money.
But because he's the human version of a crinkled up cigarette butt you find on the ground at a Speedway gas station, nobody wants to hire Joe Hogsett. And it doesn't help the fact that all of the sexual harassment stuff that came out, which was predominantly against his old partner in crime, Thomas Carl Cook, that little wiener. But Hogsett knew about it and then brought the dude back. And none of that stuff was in this half-assed report that in no way, wink, wink, was bought and paid for by Joe Hogsett.
And you've got Vop Osley, who was one of the only councilmen to reply to the Indy Star in their inquiries and try to get something on the record about this. He said that it created an appearance of impropriety. Not impropriety, but just an appearance of impropriety. I'm sure everything was on the up and up. It just didn't look good.
Now, I don't know if he's at the level of George Stephanopoulos, but Vop Osley, he's a mover and shaker in the butt sniffers list. Like, there's no greater butt sniffer than George Stephanopoulos. But if you go down the list and you start getting into regional butt sniffers, there's a big picture of Vop Osley right there. You can't tell where his nose ends and Hogsett's anus begins. So, listen, why would you take our word for it? Maybe Joe Hogsett wants to make some changes. Maybe he wants to put this whole sexual harassment scandal behind him. And here to lay out his new vision on how to change his perception is AI Joe Hogsett.
I am happy to announce an all-new way we deal with sexual harassment here in the mayor's office. Moving forward, all employees will be asked to take harassment training each year.
Okay.
And there will be punishments if an employee doesn't take the training.
Good.
All men who refuse to take the training will be fired. All women who refuse to take the training will then be sent to Thomas Carl Cook's house.
Oh.
Once there, Thomas will get you drunk, allegedly, touch you, allegedly, massage your thighs, and demand that you call him by the name Anorexic Kenny Loggins. Allegedly. Oh, and I will be there watching, not doing a damn thing about it, just watching and cheering on Thomas.
Sure.
Oh, and no fat chicks either.
Oh.
Remember, in my office, women are things. I know this because all of these so-called activists in Indy refuse to hold me accountable. Council members, women's groups, businesses in Indy, they all have stayed silent. So clearly they must support the way Thomas Cook and I treat women allegedly. Well, I've got a fifth of vodka with my name on it. Allegedly, AI boss Hogsett out.
That's AI Joe Hogsett on how he's going to rebrand himself and fix the scandals taking place in Indy.
His statement started really strong. Hey, we're going to do some sexual harassment training. It's going to be required, mandatory for everybody. But went south in a hurry, and something about touching thighs and...
Right.
Yeah.
I like to remind people of this on Twitter from time to time. I know there's a lot going on in the world, from government shutdowns to ICE raids and riots and no kings rallies and all this kind of stuff, peace deals. I get it. But do not forget, there was a major sexual harassment scandal in the mayor's office in Indy, and just recently, members of the media have decided to cover it, because Joe Hogsett apparently is no longer useful to Indy media, so that's why you're seeing these negative articles. They don't want this dude around anymore. They want somebody else. You wouldn't have got these articles 6 years ago. The stories haven't changed. Joe Hogsett today is the same dumpster fire of a human being as he was years ago. But now, all of a sudden, the Russ McQuades of the world, the Briggs of the world, they're willing to cover it. Why? Because they realize he's a dumpster fire and he's not useful to them anymore.
Well, and he is making Democrats look bad, too. That's part of it. So once a Democrat gets to the point where, okay, you're really starting to destroy our brand a little bit here, then their supporters in the media will start coming down on them, because as soon as the election comes around, it's just going to be another Democrat that's going to get elected to the mayor of Indianapolis, and that'll be somebody that has a, quote-unquote, clean slate that we can get started with and then get behind and support, and then not ask any tough questions again for another 5 or 6 years.
We're heading into a Vop Ostley v. Ryan Mears election, assuming Hogsett's not in it. If Hogsett's in it, let's see if Vop develops into a real boy, from Pinocchio into a real boy, and decides to compete against Joe Hogsett, because I know Ryan Mears will. Think about this. Even Joe Hogsett doesn't like Ryan Mears. That tells you everything you need to know about Ryan Mears.
Well, and it'll also tell you how far Joe Hogsett is fallen, because if he starts getting more and more challengers to him when the election comes around in 2027, they're going to start, do they smell blood in the water, so to speak, figuratively? Do they smell a weak politician? And the more stories like this come out, the weaker Joe Hogsett's going to get, and the more people are going to, at least think about running against him.
If there is a primary, and maybe there's a primary debate, what if Ryan Mears was the one that brought the heat to Joe Hogsett? Like, Ryan Mears, I think, is the biggest reason why the crime in this city is the way that it is, because he'd rather be a public defender than a prosecutor. But I could also see him maybe trailing in the polls a little bit and being the one to ask Joe Hogsett right to his face, where were you during the riots? We heard you were in a rehab facility. Is that true? Why did you bring back Thomas Carl Cook? Because, yes, Joe Hogsett's done some debates, but Jefferson Shreve was such a squish, he didn't want any part of that. He'd rather talk about dog kennels or some ridiculous crap. And maybe it has to come from a Democrat.
And if you want to beat Joe Hogsett from a Democrat perspective, you're going to have to ask those tough questions. So if you're going to want to primary him and beat him in the primary, you're going to have to come at him with those tough questions, because if you don't, there's no way you're going to win.
So where are we at with this here? The Turning Point USA group that Charlie Kirk was the founder of, CEO, they've announced they're doing their own halftime show of the Super Bowl. All right, that's fine. I don't really care either way. If people want to watch that, great. If they want to watch the non-English speaking guy, that's fine too. Whatever. I'm probably going to be eating food and going to the can. But Danica Patrick, longtime driver, IndyCar. She won a race at the Twin Ring of Motegi, the first female to win an IndyCar race. One of the biggest names in the sport. She's pitching in $7 million to Turning Point USA to help fund their upcoming halftime extravaganza. It sounds like she's going to be a part of it in some capacity, but she's pitching in $7 million. I've seen a lot of people, Jim, on social media complaining, you Republicans just don't want to listen to somebody that is different than you. You act like you're tolerant and you're not. So if you don't like the Bad Bunny pick for halftime, you're getting a lecture on social media. Danica's like, bite me. Here's $7 million. Let's go. What do we think?
Good for Danica Patrick having $7 million just laying around to be able to support a halftime show like this. Congratulations on all your success. It'll be interesting to see who they can book, because there have been some fake memes that have been pushed out on social media a lot the last few weeks that have listed a lineup, and those are absolutely, totally fake, unconfirmed. Nothing has been buttoned down yet.
It's like the Epstein list. That's not true.
That's not true, but we'll say it's true. So it'll be interesting to see who they can book. $7 million, that's a lot of money. I bet you can get some pretty big-time rock and roll and country performers to perform at a halftime show if you've got a starting point of $7 million.
And people need to remember, like, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. When I was a kid, there was the popular In Living Color TV series, and that had, like, young Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans and, Tommy Davidson, and they kind of had their own halftime special one year, and it took a big chunk out of what the NFL was doing. And it was after that, where they were kind of embarrassed, that the NFL really upped the ante on their halftime acts.
They hired MTV. That's when they hired MTV to start producing their halftime shows, back when MTV was an actual cultural force in the country and tied into the music industry directly. But that's how, and people forget, MTV produced the famous Janet Jackson halftime show. But the halftime show has always been hit or miss at best, which is why you had organizations like In Living Color that were able to take advantage of that and say, hey, look, we're doing something fun over here. Might as well check this out. I know that the Animal Planet's always done the Puppy Bowl at halftime every year, which sounds silly and stupid, but it pops huge numbers every single year for the Super Bowl. So believe there's a lot of people that are looking for something else to watch during the halftime show, whether it's Bad Bunny or anybody.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch Support System has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store. And ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Enough is enough. Governor Braun said he would listen to Hoosiers and stand up to Washington's plans to rig our maps. But now those Washington insiders are coming to Indiana to finish the job. Unless we can stop them, we want our votes to count, our voices to be heard, and for lawmakers and Governor Braun to focus on issues that matter to us. Utility bills, inflation, taxes. Keep standing strong against redistricting at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
Hey, it's JMV, and Miss M's Home and Garden is bursting with all things fall. Shop and save 20% now on interior fall decor. Now's a great time to think about fall plannings. Visit the friendly nursery staff to find the perfect trees and shrubs to upgrade your landscape. Some selections are up to 50% off. Still need to get your mums for the season? Miss M's Home and Garden has you covered. Visit the greenhouse for a great selection of local grown mums, pumpkins, gourds, and more. Miss M's on State Road 135, south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Hammer here for Mark Deedle. Listen, you've got a lot of options in the real estate game. Every time you get on social media, it looks like you see somebody that just became a realtor. But the real reality is this. You work way too hard for your money and your assets to trust it to somebody who's not the best. Mark Deedle is the best in the business. Mark Deedle is the only real estate expert that we trust and we recommend here on the Hammer and Nigel Show. And it's because of the guarantee. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's right. He will buy it. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. There are a number of people that can testify to how good Mark Deedle is. Luke and Emma in Franklin, Dan and Casey in Indianapolis. You've heard us talking about them on the radio, but Mark Deedle and the guarantee, that's what makes him my realtor. So contact him today, 317-755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndieDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Matt Bear, traffic now.
Eastbound 465 after Allisonville Road crash blocking the right shoulder. Slowing us down back to Keystone Avenue. It's delayed 2 minutes. On the northeast side, southbound 465 at Fawn Creek crash blocking the right lane. Southbound 6570 stop and go after the north split to the south split. Traffic sponsored by Indie Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indie Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndieDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
70 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Went a little long there, talking about a number of different issues. That's on me. Still getting used to getting back in the mix here. So we got to take another time out. But when we come back, get your popcorn ready, get the beer on ice. We got another round of No Kings protests coming to Indy. Plus, some good old-fashioned, God-fearing Halloween stuff. We're going to have so much fun, somebody might get pregnant. Come on back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Fostech is the family-owned business that makes incredible firearms right here in Indiana. Fostech, created by 2 career firefighters and 1 U.S. Air Force veteran, they create special, unique firearms. American craftsmanship meeting cutting-edge technology. Their Origin 12 shotgun is the envy of the industry, and all their products are designed, machined, assembled, and tested right here in Indiana. Follow Fostech on Facebook and Instagram at Fostech_INC. Find a dealer near you, or visit Fostech.com. That's F-O-S-T-E-C-H. Fostech.com. Use promo code WIBC for 10% off your order.
Hammer here for Window Nation. From the windows to the walls to the amazing way my house looks with my new Window Nation windows. You're going to love it. I am a customer. I've seen it firsthand. They bring the best of the best out to your house. They measure multiple times before they cut. They do it right, and they get out. There's no lingering around, no standing around. These guys are the pros. This is why they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. And all this month, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 for free. And there's no limit. The more windows you buy, the more free ones you get, and that lowers your price. Plus, if that's not enough for you, how about this? No payments for 2 years. You don't have to pay anything. No down payments, no interest, nothing, nada, zero. So what are you waiting for? Call Window Nation right now. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Look, switching point of sale systems is a total nightmare, right? But here's the thing. Shopify POS makes switching easier. A Shopify POS expert, a real human being, helps with setup and data migration. No need to be your own tech support, because with Shopify POS, you get support for free. You'll also get a free card reader and 25% off POS subscription fees. Switching your POS is easier with Shopify. Eligibility requirements apply. To learn more, visit shopify.com/switchnow. That's shopify.com/switchnow.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln.
Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, human trafficking, prostitution, and 3 arrests in central Indiana. Hundreds of Horseshoe Casino workers in Shelbyville are set to strike. You'll hear why. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
2 more bodies released by Hamas. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Israeli military says the Red Cross now has the remains of more hostages. That would leave 19 still in Gaza. A ceasefire is holding, but being tested as Hamas fighters publicly execute Palestinian civilians accused of collaborating with Israel. Fox's Jennifer Griffin in Tel Aviv.
I spoke to high-level sources in the region who tell me none of the Arab countries in the region have agreed to send security forces to disarm Hamas or provide peacekeeping. Canada and Pakistan are considering, but they will need a mandate from the UN Security Council and permission from their own parliaments.
Hamas disarming is part of the current peace plan. Fox's Martha McCallum asking New York City mayoral hopeful Zoran Mamdani, who's been critical of Israel and the war in Gaza, whether Hamas should now disarm and leave leadership in Gaza.
We have to ensure that there is peace, and that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, that applies to the Israeli military, applies to anyone you could ask me about.
Mamdani, a self-described democratic socialist, has a double-digit lead in polling over former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was running as an independent, and Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa. President Trump calls Mamdani a communist. Mamdani says he wants to build a partnership with Washington to make New York City more affordable. The president just announcing results of a crackdown on violent criminals known as Operation Summer Heat.
We were in many cities that people didn't know about. We kept it a little quiet, and it had a big impact.
Alongside the FBI chief in the Oval Office after a June to September surge with state and local partners making thousands of arrests. Another mixed finish on Wall Street, the Dow down 17 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
3 people were arrested on felony charges today. Cloudy at 70 degrees. I'm Jake McDaniel. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing, and here's what's trending at 4:02. It was for a central Indiana investigation linked to human trafficking crimes. Here's John Herrick.
All 3 of them are charged with corrupt business influence, while 2 of the 3 are also charged with promoting prostitution, while 1 adult victim was found and provided with services to help their recovery. State police say this investigation has been going on for more than a year, and they found these people working at businesses that were fronts for prostitution located in Indianapolis, Carmel, Kokomo, and Noblesville. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You might want to have the umbrella handy this weekend.
We are expecting a system to move through this weekend, which could produce some rain and thunderstorms for most of central Indiana.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis expects the rain to move in Saturday night and linger into Sunday morning. Hundreds of Horseshoe Casino workers in Shelbyville are preparing to strike. About 200 dealers want a union, but the government shutdown is delaying the vote, and workers say the casino has not met their pay demands.
Table games dealers and dual rates who helped build this department in 2020 have now been rewarded with insulting 3% raises, which are 11 cents an hour on our base pay.
At a Tuesday rally, casino workers said they want to unionize, but the National Labor Relations Board handles the vote, and the casino says it's ready if they strike. Average price for gas in Indiana today is $2.91 a gallon, says AAA. And Butler University is expanding its education by rebranding 2 of its academic colleges.
So we're going to be changing the name of our College of Education to the College of Education and Human Development.
Strategic Communications Director Mark Apple says that That will include counseling, adult learning, and more.
And the College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences to the College of Professions.
He says that will focus on degrees like nursing and social work. Apple added,
We think that those two names better reflect the current and future array of academic programs housed within each of those two colleges.
And he says the change won't be official until June 1st. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
You've got WIBC traffic at 4:05 with Matt Bear.
All right, northeast side, Jake, eastbound 465 after Allisonville Road. Crash blocking 2 right lanes. Stop and go traffic back to Keystone Avenue with 19-minute delay. East side, southbound 465 at Fall Creek, approaching East 56th Street interchange. The right lane is closed, causing a little bit of a slowdown. At inbound 69, stop and go traffic before 96th Street to 465, delayed 3 minutes. Downtown, southbound 65, 70 jam, north split to the south split. Eastbound 70 slowing down Harding into Meridian, Illinois. And a crash on the west side. This is Girls School Road, south of West 10th at St. Clair Court. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a mostly cloudy Wednesday night. Low temperatures will drop into the low to mid 50s, and then we'll see sunshine return for our Thursday as skies turn mostly sunny. High temperatures will find their way into the lower 70s with dry air and light winds in place. Friday, cloud coverage will increase once again, but that does not stop it from being another nice day to end the work week as high temperatures get into the low to mid 70s by Friday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
So this Saturday, I know there's a lot of really good college football games going on. It's like a great slate. USC and Notre Dame.
Big one.
Tennessee, Alabama, Ole Miss, Georgia. But all of those, Jim, are going to have to wait because we're going to be checking out the No Kings rally.
Can you imagine competing up against college football? It's been a spectacular college football season. We've got more parity in college football than we've ever had. A fantastic slate of huge rivalry games, Notre Dame, USC, Alabama, Tennessee. And you want me to go stand out at the State House and protest Donald Trump?
So what do you think the reaction would be if you just drove up in the gym mobile right there, rolled down your window, and asked one of the blue-haired people wearing a mask, hey, who you got the third Saturday in October today? What do you think the response would be?
Notre Dame minus 9.5. Can you hook me with a solid bet? Yeah, they would look at me and go, are you talking about basketball? Is it basketball season? Is it swimming season?
Right.
That's my guess. They're not going to be dialed into college football like that. But it's you know, we had one of these a few months ago in July. It was, I don't want to say poorly attended, but it rained the whole day, and so attendance was kind of sparse. But the Indy Star, they put this huge article out about the No Kings protest and basically giving you like a roadmap on how to protest. I mean, things like, oh, are there counter protests? Can I take photographs? Do I need a permit? What happens if you're asked to disperse? I mean, it's this huge article all about the No Kings protest.
I'm going to raise my hand. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
At any point in that article, did they say why this was happening?
They did not.
Oh,
or you
okay.
know what? Actually, maybe they did. I haven't even gotten to the end of the article yet. That's how long it is. They dedicated an incredible amount of space on their website to this No Kings protest coming up Saturday.
Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a rocket scientist.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure we haven't had a king for a long time. So maybe we just need to go by with some fake newspapers, pass them out. You guys, you did it. Congratulations. No more kings in the United States since 1776.
You did it. Congratulations. Like Elf. He said, yeah, the world's greatest coffee. You guys did it. Congratulations.
Start patting all the blue hairs on the head. Good job, everybody. Now go get jobs.
Get out of here. Don't be ridiculous. For a lot of people, those are jobs, actually. Paid protesters. We've seen those stories, and I'm sure there'll be some paid protesters out there on Saturday.
And the thing is, like, if you want to go protest for a cause that's near and dear to you, that's fine. If you believe police brutality or, redistricting is something that you're passionate about, you want to go protest for that, fine. But the whole concept of a No Kings rally is what? Trump is a king? Is that what we're trying to say here? He's acting like a king. Well, I'm pretty sure it was the Democrats that nominated somebody without a primary last election. So maybe do a little looking in the mirror before we start pointing to the big, bad, scary orange man, calling him the king.
Let's not let facts get in the way of a good protest.
I'm sorry.
Okay, we've got an opportunity to wear our masks and get our bullhorns out and yell and scream and get in people's faces and make it all about us. Because that's really, it seems to me, all the protests that I've seen at the Capitol, that's really what it's mostly about. It's about look at me and look how awesome I am and virtue signaling.
My favorite chant is, "This is what democracy looks like." Narrator, we don't live in a democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
It's never getting through to the Democrats and the lefties because they just love to keep saying that. This is not what a democracy... That's not even a very good chant.
No.
I mean, I like the ones that rhyme, but this is not what a democracy looks like. That's a poor chant.
So the State House this Saturday, noon until 3. That's the time of the No Kings rally. Now, speaking of scary things, let's do some Halloween stuff, shall we?
Let's do it.
Pumpkins, candy, costumes, Halloween stuff. A new survey reveals that adults love Halloween just as much as kids, to the point to where there's a new trend called adult-a-ween. Over half of adults in this survey, 54%, now believe they deserve their own adult Halloween night without child care responsibilities. So basically, adults are just looking for an excuse to go out, drink, eat a bunch of candy, or as I call it, pretty much every night of the week. But here to bring some levity to what adult-a-ween is all about, let's ask Alexa. Alexa, tell me about adult-a-ween.
Here are some things that sound dirty for adult-a-ween, but aren't. Once you get under the sheet, start moaning and groaning. Ooh. Can I feel your big sack of candy? Check out her nice big pumpkins. Just hop on the broomstick and ride it. Stick your hand in and guess what you're feeling.
These are all clean things.
I bobbed and bobbed, but could not get my mouth around it. And those small suckers are gone in a few licks. Now, get your mind out of the cobwebs and have a happy adult-a-ween.
Doesn't get any better than this, does it, Allison? Doesn't get any better than this, does it? You're living the dream.
So glad you're back.
Thank you. I missed you. Halloween stuff here. According to a new report, we may be eating candy corn wrong. Now, I'm a candy corn guy. I will defend candy corn, Jim.
That's a strong position and not necessarily a popular one, so I at least give you props for standing up and telling your truth.
This is my No Kings rally right here. I will defend candy corn. Is it my favorite? No, but it's like Nickelback, right? Everybody likes to make fun of Nickelback, but the real reality is they've put out hit after hit, and when you go to their concerts, it's a bunch of hot chicks watching them play their music.
I've always loved Nickelback. I'm not as much of a candy corn fan as you are, but I do see the correlation.
So, according to this new report, the trick to candy corn consumption, even for guys like you, Jim, that don't necessarily like it that much, you're supposed to pair it with something salty. You don't just open the bag and put the candy corn in your mouth and chew it up. You're supposed to pair it with something salty because that's how you get the taste out of it. So if you mix it with like peanuts, it's supposed to like combine the taste, right?
That's how you get the taste out of it. That's how you're supposed to enjoy candy corn. Throw other stuff in there so you can't taste the candy corn. Makes a lot of sense. But I do
mix it with a Snickers bar and you're going to like it a lot better.
I do see how peanuts, the sweet and salty, would actually be a nice little treat. That would be good.
Yeah. The candy corn ratio to mixing it with something else, you got to be very careful. But I think if you do it right, it could taste like one of those payday bars.
That's exactly what it would taste like, yeah, because the nougat is essentially, the nougat from a payday bar is the candy corn portion, and then it's wrapped in peanuts on top of it.
Speaking of Halloween stuff, don't forget to go to the Hammer and Nigel Show store. Just Google it. Google Kurt Signetti, because he wins, and Google Hammer and Nigel store. We've got our new Halloween items up. There's a shirt with Hillary Clinton's face on it, and it simply says, "This is my scary Halloween shirt." So you can buy that right now. Just Google Hammer and Nigel Show store or visit store.hammerandnigel.com. And in honor of our new shirt, here's what we've done here, Jim.
Yeah.
We've taken a previous appearance on The View, I believe it was, from Hillary Clinton, and we put some scary music behind it. Tell me if this is more frightening than any horror movie you've ever seen.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to be president. Look, I think I'm not going to even think about it until we get through this November 6th.
See? Frightening stuff,
The
right?
call is coming from inside the house.
Right. Check out the shirt. And then for Thanksgiving, we've got the amazing His and Her shirts up there, too. May I suggest the roast beef?
I'm looking at them right now.
And may I suggest the sausage? We prefer you buy those for Thanksgiving around the family, but buy your classic Hammer and Nigel gear and the special Hillary Clinton Halloween shirt right now. Have it in time to pass out candy at Thanksgiving. Matt Baer.
Northeast side crash eastbound 465 after Allisonville Road is on the right shoulder and stop traffic back to Keystone Avenue, 17-minute delay. Northeast side crash southbound 465 at Fall Creek, right shoulder blocked. Northbound 465 through Lawrence slow before Penn Pike up to I-69 and inbound 69 stop and go traffic, 3-minute delay 106 to 465. Inbound 65 stop and go from 21st to Meridian. Southbound 65-70 jam for a 2-minute delay. North split down to the south split. Eastbound 70 slow after Harding into the south split. And a crash just as 38th Street east of High School Road at Lawndale Avenue. Also a crash Girls School Road south of West 10th. Traffic sponsored by Staples. Have you heard the Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom print shipping services, even passport photos. Staples, that was easy. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
70 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up next, a spirited round of Is This Anything? But before then, we need you guys to go to the WIBC YouTube page. We need 100 likes, 100 thumbs up. That gets us to 150, and that keeps the nerds in the digital department off of my backside. So, if you're tired of dealing with 20-year-old nerds that think they know everything, or if you're just happy that your favorite Beech Grove native son is back, maybe you're not. Either way, go to the YouTube chat, give me a like, give me a thumbs up. Remember, for every thumbs up you give us, it's a middle finger to a 20-year-old that works in the back here. We got to get to 150, or they'll come in here and demand that we talk about it more. I'd rather spend this time making Allison uncomfortable. So help us out. We need 100 more thumbs up on the YouTube stream. That gets us to 150. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Fall in Indiana is prep season, the smart time to get your home ready before the temperatures drop and the snow gets here. Because here's the truth. Roof, siding, gutter, and window problems don't fix themselves. One missing shingle turns into a bad leak. Clogged gutters lead to ice dams. And drafty siding or bad insulation means sky-high heating bills all winter long. That's why you need Moss Roofing. Family owned right here in Indiana for over 30 years, Moss Roofing gives you a free, no-obligation inspection. They'll spot problems now, before the cold settles in, so you're not scrambling in January. And here's a bonus. Thanks to new energy tax credits and Indiana Energy Saver rebates, you can save big on insulation and efficiency upgrades. That's money back in your pocket while protecting your home. So don't wait. Call Moss Roofing today at 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at mossroofing.com. Get your home winter ready this fall with people you can trust. mossroofing.com, every shingle time.
Hammer here for Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. It's right there by that green bridge. You can't miss it. And Diamonds Direct, they have a customer first policy. It's really an experience, a customer first experience. You walk through those doors, you see the beautiful showroom, somebody will greet you. Maybe it's the manager in the back, Neve. Maybe it's one of the amazing sales team members, but they treat you like a rock star. And the team is committed to building a long-term relationship with you. Once you get partnered with a sales rep, they're going to help you find that home run gift for the holidays. Or maybe, guys, you're thinking about popping the question coming up. They will help you get the biggest bang for your buck on the engagement ring. They've got the best warranties. Always free, lifetime services, a 110% lifetime upgrade policy. They stay within your budget. They give you options. They are the official jeweler of the Indianapolis Colts. Nobody does it better. Diamonds Direct, Keystone at the Crossing. Tell them Hammer from Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt says putting his kids in charge of more of the day-to-day operations of the business was the plan all along.
It makes me really proud that I know that I can turn it over to my family and they can take care of things, and I've got all the confidence in the world in them. And that's the legacy I'm proud to leave.
A great family-owned business, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. 317-745-4526. Reinhardt, your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Truck drivers, don't miss out on the unmatched consistency of a Schneider driving job. At Schneider, you can find a driving position that fits your lifestyle and goals, all while getting the pay you deserve. Plus, Schneider drivers operate state-of-the-art, well-maintained equipment and have access to award-winning benefits and a 24/7 support team. Explore Schneider's huge selection of driving jobs today and find your perfect fit at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Is This Anything is brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, a program presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. The AG's office reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Fast, easy, free to search. Do yourself a favor. Check it out, indianaunclaimed.gov. Jim, Casey's better half, is filling in for Big Nige today. I'm going to run these stories by you.
Okay.
You break them down. You give us a verdict.
All
okay?
right, gotcha.
Is this anything? An argument over a slow checkout lane at a Marshall's store in New Jersey turned violent. 25-year-old woman Amber Thompson thought the lady in front of her at Marshall's was taking too long, purchased a set of kitchen knives, and used one of them to stab her in the parking lot. Here are the people in the community reacting to the violence at the New Jersey Marshall's.
Insanity. I think it's pretty crazy that that happened here. And what is this, Kearney Harrison? Yeah, it's just crazy.
That anything?
If The Sopranos has taught me anything, which also took place in New Jersey, it's that complete overreactions in retail settings are perfectly normal. Reminds me of when Christopher was at the deli and he thought the guy was putting his finger on the scale to charge him more. Thought that guy was going to lose a limb. So because of that, I'm going to say, nah, this isn't anything. This is just New Jersey. That's all.
Am I a rotten SOB? Because one of the first things I thought of was, I bet she got good deals on those knives at Marshall's.
I was shocked that she purchased them. If you're that outraged and toward violent tendencies that you're going to stab somebody, the fact that she went to the effort to go and purchase the knives and then follow the woman out in the parking lot and stab her, no, I don't think it's anything. It's just New Jersey.
You can't act on that type of behavior. But I got to be honest, when you're trying to exit a plane and somebody is taking that long, bad thoughts run through my head.
We've all been there, and that sounds like something that did it happen to you on your recent vacation?
Oh, I think it happens to everybody.
Every plane, yeah.
Like, unless you're sitting up front in like what they call the first class seats now. If you're in the middle or the back, there's always going to be somebody that, for whatever reason, takes 15 minutes to get a duffel bag out of the overhead compartment and walk their happy taint out of that plane. It should not take that long.
It is always frustrating, and you're right. But we're adults. This is a civil society. You don't act like that. You don't act on those impulses unless you're at a Marshall's in New Jersey, apparently.
Or the Bada Bing, one of the two.
One of the two.
Is this anything? According to a new survey, 77% of Americans say they see other people leave public restrooms without washing their hands. 85% of women say they always wash their hands, compared to just 77% of men.
I'm going to say this is something, because this is absolutely disgusting, but where I do see this happen the most are like big sporting events or concerts. Like you're at the Colts game and you're going to the bathroom. I'm seeing a ton of guys that are walking out of there without washing their hands because you're already in a dirty, filthy environment everywhere you go. There's, 60,000 people around you. Also concerts, that seems to be where I end up seeing, dudes leaving the bathroom without washing their hands. Because it's a civil society. You wash your hands when you walk out of the bathroom. Am I wrong on this?
I'm just going to offer a counter perspective.
Please do.
What if there's a hand sanitizer machine or you've got hand sanitizer on you and you don't like the quote-unquote cleanliness of the bathroom? You had to go because time was a factor, but we've all been in bathrooms where you thought, I would prefer not to be in here, and you used your own hand sanitizer outside.
I will give you that, and in fact, I'll say that likely hand sanitizer probably gets your hands a lot more clean than any public bathroom, especially if they've got the air dryers. I just feel like those are just germ magnets, and I'm just throwing mold and other people's germs straight onto my hands.
Get a scientist or somebody to talk about those drying machines. It's almost like having a homeless guy out in the circle just blowing your hands dry.
I need Petri dishes. We're going to set up some hand sanitizer. We'll set up a public restroom wash basin, and we're going to find out through science what's the right answer. But yes, that is a caveat. Hand sanitizer does give you grace from washing your hands at the bathroom.
Is this anything? There's a trend for adults of hiring magicians for adult birthday parties. For whatever reason, TikTok's got a bunch of videos about this, and Google says searches for magicians for hire are at an all-time high, and these aren't necessarily at kids' parties. Like if they have a Friendsgiving or if they have people coming over, they're hiring magicians to entertain adults. Is this anything?
Absolutely not. Magicians have always creeped me out. Name a magician, like a famous magician where you're like, yeah, it's just a regular dude. That's just a regular guy. No, David Blaine, all the magicians are just have they give off kind of a creep factor to it. Yeah, no, I'm not hiring a magician at an adult party.
So, Allison, let me bring you into the conversation here. Let's say your friends say, hey, come over. We're having drinks this weekend, maybe a bonfire. We're going to watch the big Notre Dame USC game maybe. You get over there, and there's a magician. How do you feel?
I think it's hilarious.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? I think it'd be awkward if it was just 5 of us in a living room and a middle-aged man just standing there doing card tricks, but... You know,
but that's what it is, and you just said you'd love it.
No, but you said a big party. If there's like a big party and like I don't know, I think it'd be fine. I want to invite him to my house, but if I'm there, why not?
Okay, because I'm kind of with Jim on this one. Like the magicians that I think of right off the top of my head, the Chris Angels, the Copperfields,
that's the one I was trying to think
the
of.
David
yes.
Blaines. They're all kind of the same dude. Weirdos.
Yeah.
But they clean up with the ladies, but then again, they've got a lot of money.
I don't need another dude at a party to be cleaning up with the ladies. I'm not bringing in competition to my party.
Where's
Absolutely
my wife
not.
at?
Right.
The magician just made her underpants disappear. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. If you're living with a chronic condition like diabetes, chronic heart failure, or a cardiovascular disorder, you might count on extra support with your health care too. That's why United Healthcare offers chronic special needs plans with extra benefits and a large provider network to choose from. Visit uhc.com/Medicare to find out if you qualify today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Indiana can count on. Provider network may vary in local market.
Hammer and Nigel for Mark Deedle. Mark Deedle, the official realtor of the Hammer and Nigel Show. But don't just take our word for it. How about Sarah in Fountain Square? After investing in a property in Fountain Square, Sarah ran into some financial trouble, needed to sell the place quickly for max money. She hired the Mark Deedle team, and they were able to sell her property within weeks over the list price. And that's the key, over the list price. You want to make sure you get the maximum money. That's why you have to trust a pro, and nobody does it better than Mark Deedle. Mark Deedle, he's the only one that has the guarantee in place. Mark Deedle will sell your property at a mutually agreed upon price or deadline, or he will buy it. That is the Mark Deedle guarantee. Give him a call today, 755-4232. That's 755-4232, or go to markdeedle.com. Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdeedle.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Enough is enough. Governor Braun said he would listen to Hoosiers and stand up to Washington's plans to rig our maps. But now those Washington insiders are coming to Indiana to finish the job. Unless we can stop them, we want our votes to count, our voices to be heard, and for lawmakers and Governor Braun to focus on issues that matter to us. Utility bills, inflation, taxes. Keep standing strong against redistricting at playfairindiana.com. Paid for by Indiana Conservation Voters.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
3 people face felony charges today. Cloudy and 70 degrees in downtown Indy. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 4:32. Human trafficking, prostitution, and 3 arrests in central Indiana. John Herrick reports.
State police say this investigation involving several law enforcement agencies has gone on for more than a year, and it's revealed that several businesses were being operated as fronts for prostitution disguised as legitimate massage parlors. Police say they got search warrants for these businesses that were in Indianapolis, Carmel, Noblesville, and Kokomo. The 3 people who were arrested Wednesday are facing felony charges, and there was 1 adult victim who later got help from the Department of Homeland Security. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Expect rain to break through Indiana this weekend.
Currently, right now, we're expecting a bulk of the rain and thunderstorms to move through Saturday night, with maybe some isolated to scattered thunderstorms during the day on Saturday.
Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service thinks the heaviest amount of rain could fall in southern Indiana. Lawmakers still cannot agree on a deal to reopen and fund the government as the Republican-backed spending bill failed for the 9th time today. The shutdown is now on day 15. This happened right after President Trump announced he plans to cut programs popular with Democrats, with the full list coming out Friday. You're paying an average of $2.91 a gallon of gas today in Indiana, says Gas Buddy, and the MLB postseason marches on tonight. The Seattle Mariners will host the Toronto Blue Jays at 8 o'clock Eastern in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. It's time for your WIBC Closing Bell Report. At the closing bell today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 17 points to 46,253. The S&P 500 rose 26 points to 6,671. And the NASDAQ gained 148 points to 22,670. WIBC News Time is 4:34. You've got traffic and weather coming in 1 minute.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Traffic at 4:35. Matt Bear, what you got?
Northeast side, eastbound 465 at Allisonville Road. Crash clear, still jammed past Westfield Boulevard. Delay 6 minutes to make it through that. Inbound 69, stop and go before 96th Street down to 465, a 5-minute delay. Inbound 65, slow 29th to Meridian. Southbound 65-70, delayed 3 minutes. North split to the south split. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic from Harding into the south split. East side, southbound 465, slow from 70 down to 74. Crash southbound Keystone Avenue near 25th. On the southwest side, Kentucky Avenue at Raymond, crews are responding to a trailer fire. Please watch out for emergency vehicles in the area. Also a crash, 38th Street east of High School Road. That's 38th at Lawndale Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now here's the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a mostly cloudy Wednesday night. Low temperatures will drop into the low to mid 50s, and then we'll see sunshine return for our Thursday as skies turn mostly sunny. High temperatures will find their way into the lower 70s with dry air and light winds in place. Friday, cloud coverage will increase once again. High temperatures get into the low to mid 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So, Facebook group called Ice Sighting Chicagoland that had over 76,000 members was taken down by Meta at the request of the U.S. Department of Justice. Jim is filling in for Big Nige today. So, on one hand, this is something that could be viewed as a safety move. Certainly don't want ICE agents being injured, and if this was something that was causing harm, all right, fine. But on the other hand, Jim.
Yes.
Is this the same thing that conservatives were complaining about that the Democrats were doing to them, taking down groups, taking down, people questioning the vaccines. Is this an apples and orange conversation, or is this different?
No, I think it's very similar. It makes me uncomfortable. I'll channel my own inner Rob Kendall here, too. We're talking about, I'm a conservative. I voted for Donald Trump, but things like this make me nervous, and they make me cringe. It was very similar. Look, I got no love for Jimmy Kimmel, but when the head of the FCC comes out and essentially throws the smackdown and says, hey, you better, shut up or else, that's the government butting in to personal and commercial private industries, and they shouldn't be doing this. And look, I don't want members from ICE to get hurt, and I certainly, support those guys out there on the lines doing the tough work. But this does make me cringe. It's way too close to what the Biden administration did during COVID and stifling speech all over the place, including Meta. And so I don't know the specific details about this, but I'm not a fan of it on the first glance at it.
So journalist Laura Loomer was the one kind of behind this big push, and it sounds like she got to Zucks. She got to Mark Zuckerberg and said, listen, these ICE agents are being doxxed. Their kids are being threatened in school. The wives are being threatened. Some of these guys are being threatened to be murdered here. And this whole Facebook page, this group on your app is allowing that to happen. What are you going to do with it? So she kind of put the ball back in Zuck's court here, who just not that long ago came out and said, yeah, the Biden administration made us really censor a lot of conservatives, and now he's going the other direction.
Now, what Laura Loomer did, that I don't have a problem with. She's a private citizen. She's arguing to Facebook that, hey, these things shouldn't be out there. I'm totally comfortable with that. But with the Facebook ICE Sightings Chicagoland Facebook group, that they took that down at a request directly from the U.S. Department of Justice. There's a difference there. There's a difference between a private individual trying to get a private company to do something, and there's a difference when it's the federal government trying to get a private company to do something.
Is there a way, and I don't know the answer to this, but maybe you just get to Zucks and say, look, you've got to have some sort of moderator to these types of groups. You can't just say, John Doe lives at this address, he works for ICE, go bleep with him, because you can't do that. But if you say, hey, I'm being told the picture of this guy works for ICE, I think there's a difference there. I just don't know how, if at all, you moderate that.
Well, and it sounds like, you know as well as anybody that Facebook has a very long list of terms of services and rules and regulations that you've got to follow. So I probably, in this case, it looks like the U.S. Department of Justice, they were probably violating Facebook's terms of service anyway. So
right.
if Facebook had been policing this to start with, it wouldn't have taken the Department of Justice to come in and ask them to bring it down.
And maybe we're burying the lead here. Maybe the bigger story is it'd be nice if crazy leftists would stop trying to kill people they disagreed with politically.
You're getting ridiculous now. Quit asking for things that are never going to happen.
Me and my drugs.
You and your dreams.
UltimateClassicRock.com, one of Nigel's favorite websites, put together a list of the most hated songs and albums of rock history. Okay?
Yep.
So UltimateClassicRock.com, their list of most hated songs. Coming in at number 1, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith.
I see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Cheesy. You want to talk about a sellout? We were kind of talking about sellouts during the commercial break here. They basically put that on the Armageddon soundtrack because Steven Tyler's daughter was in the movie, and just a real cheesy ballad, right? Kokomo from the Beach Boys came in at number 2. See, I would disagree with this because I don't think that's a rock song.
Not even close to a rock song. No.
And then they follow it with Studio by Phil Collins. Again, not a rock song.
Nope.
We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel coming in at number 4. My favorite thing about that is it's so easy to do a parody of it. I remember back when the 2020 election was taking place and the Democrats just had a huge clown car of people on stage at the first presidential debate. I mean, it was a long list of people, and we broke it down in a Billy Joel, We Didn't Start the Fire type of record from Hammer and Nigel Records.
We want to welcome the Democratic candidate for President of the United States.
Will you be paying more in taxes? Yes, you will.
Bullock, Ryan, Bernie, Pocahontas, Mayor Pete, everything for free. Don Lemon's your MC. Hickenlooper, Delaney, Beto saying, I'm sorry. Marianne Williamson, will she be stoned again? Minnesota's Klobuchar, poll numbers are subpar, has a reputation that she'll beat you with a baseball bat. Worse than a mosquito bite. CNN 8 tonight.
You're a vegan. What's that like?
It was a who's who of some of the worst that party has to offer.
That's a banger from Hammer and Nigel Records. That's one of the best. Well, that's better than the original. That's better than the Billy Joel version.
Okay, so here's the list of hated albums, okay? Those were individual songs. The album Scream by Chris Cornell coming in at number 1.
It seems like a lot of hate for I mean, not even, I mean, it was mildly popular, but okay.
Number 2, Dirty Work by the Rolling Stones. And then number 3, Unfinished Music number 1, Two Virgins, John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Makes total sense. No disagreement there, clearly.
Number 4, though, was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I don't know where the hate's coming from for that.
Are you a pop, like British Invasion Beatles guy or hippie stone Beatles guy?
I'm always when it comes to the choice, I'm always the pop guy. I mean, Hard Day's Night, the early stuff from the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, that whole album's fantastic. It's when they started getting a little bit more esoteric with Rubber Soul and that sort of thing that I fell off.
When they found the weed, when they started smoking the hippie lettuce, that's when I was out on the Beatles, but some people love hippie stone Beatles. It's like their favorite version of it. And coming in at number 5 on most hated albums, according to UltimateClassicRock.com, To the Hard Way, Allman and Woman. That's Greg Allman and Cher.
Yeah, gonna have to agree with him on that one too. So it's a rock solid list, pretty good. But yeah, the Sgt. Pepper's one stands out more than anything on that list. I mean, I get that it's easy to hate the Beatles because they were so popular and everybody loves them, and it's easy to be contrarian about that. But it seems like there's a lot of other albums out there that are a lot easier to hate than Sgt. Pepper's.
Would you like to play a round of How Have You Injured Your Crotch, Jim?
Of course. I've been waiting for this. Finally, I get to fill in on the Hammer and Nigel show and tell you how have I injured my crotch.
All right. We're going to open it up. 239-9393. It's my belief that everybody, man, woman, and child, has some sort of funny story about a way you've injured your crotch. So share that story with the class. 239-9393. Just keep the story as brief as you can. Keep it radio clean, okay? Caller roulette rules are in effect here. But, guys, if you've injured Big Jim and the twins, ladies, if there's been something happen to the catcher's glove, let us know. Stop moaning, Allison. 239-9393. That's our number. 239-9393. It's time for America's fastest growing game sensation. How have you injured your crotch?
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course. And it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. I know finding a dream engagement ring can be overwhelming, but don't worry, we got you. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond at Shane Company is truly the best of the best. Our team travels the world to see diamonds up close, in person. We handpick each one for its unique fire, brilliance, and scintillation. Diamond buying is an art. Of course, we look at cut, color, clarity, and carat, known as the 4 C's. But that's not all. We also look at how each diamond looks on a hand, where it will be worn, how it makes you feel, and if it's worthy of a Shane Company customer. That type of expertise only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. We also think about your budget. We only pick the best in each grade in all shapes and sizes. Your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
Hammer and Nigel here for your Central Indiana American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro Dealer Absolute Comfort. Absolute Comfort, specializing in Mitsubishi Electric Ductless Mini Splits. They are diverse systems that can be mounted on the wall, and when you walk in or out of a room, they heat and cool at a level pre-programmed. That way, you don't spend a lot on your electric bill, and you get the desired effect. This is what Absolute Comfort does. These high-tech units are how most of the world heats and cools their home and offices. These Mitsubishi electric ductless systems have advancements that can sense when a person's in the room and warm or cool to that person's wishes. For the ultimate in efficiency and comfort, contact Chris Wedekin at Absolute Comfort. AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry, offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
Oh, I can't wait for your calls. They are coming up right after Matt Bear takes a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, inbound 65, 5-minute delay, 29 to Meridian. Southbound 65 in Boone County slows from Whitestown Parkway down to the Dogleg 865. Inbound 69, 5-minute delay, 106th Street to 465. Southbound 65, 70 jam. North split to the south split, a 10-minute delay because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Clouds and 71 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And it's my belief everybody has got a story about how they've injured their crotch. And proof of that are the folks standing by ready to tell their tales. Bob, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Bob, how have you injured your crotch?
Sir, that's Mariachi Bob to you, sir.
You know what? I have to call you Mariachi Bob because you beat me in the Oreo eating contest.
That's right. And you met my son Mason.
Yes.
This is about him. He fell his first time racking his, area. He's playing on playground equipment, and he slipped, and he fell, and I looked at him, and I said, I'm so proud of you. You're in for a lifetime of pain. So you better protect those puppies at all times.
That's right. That's a valuable lesson. That's good parenting right there, Mariachi Bob. Well done.
Thank you.
Let me go to Jim. Jim, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. Jim, how have you injured your crotch?
Well, I had gone to Tennessee to visit my brother. He was in the Army, and I was taking the Greyhound bus ride back home. And we partied a little bit, and I had 2 small airplane bottles of Jack Daniels in my pocket, and one of them, the lid came off, and it went all over my junk. And, man, you want to talk about fire. Woo!
Oh, so you got like alcohol burned?
Yeah. A small little airplane bottle of Jack Daniels leaked. The lid came off and leaked, and I was asleep. And, boy, I told you, I'll tell you, I woke up. I'll tell you that right now.
Huh.
I wasn't expecting that. You always think about, impact injuries. I wasn't thinking about,
like the
chemical
bottle
burns.
Exploded on your sack or something. I didn't expect that we get chemical burns out of this thing. Thank you. Alex is up next. Alex, how have you injured your crotch?
So I was home laying on the couch one day about 2 days after having a vasectomy done.
Oh.
And my 4-year-old son got up on the arm of the couch and decided to go WWE, and he jumped off and headbutted me right in the crotch.
Wait, 24 hours post-vasectomy? Is that what you said?
Yeah, roughly.
Oh, that is extra tender at that point in time.
Right. That's everything that the doctor says you should not have happen after a vasectomy. That's, wow, that hurts. Jim, let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
How have you injured your crotch?
The worst one ever was high school football. And when we were freshmen, we wore jock straps. But after that, nobody wore them anymore. And what was called a cup check. It was a little joke. Everybody played. Somebody threw their helmet right at my crotch, and it landed square. And it was one of those where it takes a few seconds before it hits you, and then you start sweating. You start feeling warm.
It's a pain grenade.
I fall to the ground in pain. That was the worst one. Was high school football for sure.
Yeah, high school football. Do pubes count as how have you injured your crotch?
How do you injure pubes?
High school football, fumble, dog pile. Everybody gets in there, big pile, and crazy stuff happens in the pile. People are spitting on you, and they're punching you, and it's hard to, the referee can't see it. Kid from Greenwood, I'm not going to lie, puts his hands in my pants and rips out some pubes.
In that specific instance, yes, that counts because it's in the crotchal region. Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't sure how you could injure pubes, but getting them ripped out, yeah, that probably is just as bad as getting hit in the twins.
Allison, we need a ruling on that. Pubes count as a how have you injured your crotch story.
I think so, and also that man has got to have mental issues.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, since my baby left me.
It's a tribute to the king of rock and roll. On October 17th and 18th, Frankie Marino and family come to the Hilbert Circle Theater to perform some of Elvis's most famous hits with conductor Enrico Lopez Yanez and the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra.
Well, it's so lonely it could die.
Don't wait. Get your tickets today.
My hand.
Tickets on sale now at IndianapolisSymphony.org or the ISO box office downtown.
Hammer and Nigel here for Bill Demery, your retirement guy, based here in Indy. And Bill will walk you through the complicated world of retirement and your money. Listen, it can be pretty intimidating when you start thinking about, am I going to have enough money? What should I invest in? A lot of people use big words. They try to drown you with information. But what's great about Bill Demery is when you set up that first free consultation, he walks you through everything step by step. And if you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. And he could also teach you how to earn 10% on top of that in the very first year. And he does it in such an easy way. I'm telling you, you need to set up that free consultation. Do yourself a favor and call Bill Demery, 317-648-5120. 648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120. Call today.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Join us every Friday
Friday, right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers under new ownership, just off State Road 37 or GreatLakesHondaFishers.com for deals like a low monthly payment and zero down on select vehicles.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday. Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
This is Denny Smith, and I'm here to tell you that a neglected well can lead to costly repairs. But C&J's got you covered with their well cleanout service. Right now, it's 30% off, and that's the lowest price of the year. C&J will remove the pump, insert a high-output air line into the well, and then safely airlift years of sediment and gunk out of the top of the well. Then they'll also do a 6-point inspection to assure that you and your family get the purest, safest water. C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, you'll hear why 3 people were arrested on felony charges today, what the weather will offer across Indiana this weekend, and 2 girls find commonality not only in their names, but in their diseases. Those stories coming up next after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HG1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
President Trump doubles down on Lisa Brady, Fox News, on a message to Hamas.
We want the weapons to be given up, sacrificed, and they've agreed to do it. Now they have to do it, and if they don't do it, we'll do it.
But the president also says he does not see a need for the U.S. military to be involved. 200 troops are now in Israel, but only to help monitor the ceasefire in Gaza. Today, 2 more hostage bodies were released by Hamas. One of the 8 bodies previously released turned out not to be hostage remains. The president also just telling reporters the U.S. is already in a trade war with China after threatening additional tariffs over China's new export controls on rare earth minerals, though Treasury Chief Scott Bessent offering reassurance earlier today.
We are confident in the strong relationship between President Trump and President Xi. We've had substantial communication with the Chinese over the past few days.
Adding that more is expected this week. An effort to end the government shutdown fails again in the U.S. Senate.
The 9th time was not the charm for a stopgap measure to reopen the government, as once again only 3 senators who caucus with Democrats joined all but 1 Republican, with the measure failing to reach the 60-vote threshold to break the Senate filibuster. Democrats want Republicans to negotiate an extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits, but Senate Majority Leader John Thune says he's not negotiating with the government shut down.
That's the conversation that we will have when the time comes, once we open up the government.
Democrats also want restrictions on the Trump administration's ability to cut spending already approved by Congress.
Fox's Ryan Schmel is on the Hill. Meantime, a federal judge in San Francisco issuing an emergency order temporarily blocking the firing of federal workers during the shutdown. A federal judge in Oregon extending temporary restraining orders that are blocking the president's deployment of National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Police executed many search and arrest warrants. You've got a cloudy sky, still 70 degrees on Monument Circle. The low tonight is 55. I'm Jake McDaniel. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Police looked into a prostitution ring for over a year. Detectives say the human trafficking ring was operating out of several businesses disguised as massage parlors, along with a couple of homes. The areas searched include Kokomo, Indianapolis, Noblesville, and Carmel. 3 people were arrested and face preliminary charges, including corrupt business influence. A storm system is supposed to move into Indiana this weekend. John Herrick reports.
The timeline is still uncertain at this point, but Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis believes the highest likelihood for storms is from Saturday night into Sunday morning. As for where?
Our highest confidence in larger amounts of rain would be more in the southern Wabash Valley through the southern Ohio Valley. That kind of area is where we currently expect the most rain.
He also expects lighter amounts in the northern portion of the state. Updike says you'll want to watch out for wind gusts that could reach around 30 miles an hour at times. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
A 9-year-old girl from Fishers is being recognized nationally for her courage while living with a rare disease. Emma D. was honored at the American Kidney Fund's Hope Affair Gala in Washington, D.C.
So the first organ to fail is the kidney, and that's typically when you're diagnosed, is when you have that Fanconi syndrome from the kidneys failing.
That's Shelley, the mother of her best friend Emma. Both carry the same name and the same rare condition called cystinosis, which affects only an estimated 2,000 people in the U.S. and 3,000 worldwide. Butler University is renaming 2 of its academic colleges. The College of Education is adding human development to its name, reflecting new work in mental health, counseling, and kinesiology. The College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences is simplifying its name to the College of Health Professions, which highlights its new nursing program and degrees coming in respiratory therapy. The names will be changed on June 1st next year. Time is 5:04. Your traffic and weather next.
Whether it's the good food or the friendly mood, you can count on Indiana to never lose when it comes to tailgating. And we want to see you at every game. That's why Hubler's got you covered with the best warranty around. So kick off the season in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Right now, you can buy with 0 down. Choose from over 2,000 cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. We'll pay top dollar for your trade. Bring Hubler your old car for an immediate appraisal. 0 down delivers. And Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles.
Hubler's got you covered.
Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 convenient locations.
Cover me.
Select models, approved credit. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
With your WIBC traffic at 5:05, here's Matt Bear.
Inbound 69, 4-minute delay, 106th Street, 2465. Southbound 65, stop and go traffic from 21st to Meridian, 6-minute delay. Inbound 70 slows after rural into the north split, then the construction delay of southbound 65, 70, delayed 3 minutes. North split down to the south split. Eastbound 70 slows after Harding into the south split. East side, southbound 465, delayed 7 minutes, 70 down to 74. Inbound 69 again slow, 106th Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Grand Appliance. Shop the 95th anniversary sale. Grand Appliance to save on top brands like GE, Cafe, and more. Visit grandappliance.com or your local Grand showroom for details. That's grandappliance.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly cloudy for our Wednesday night with lows in the low to mid-50s, and then we will return to bright skies for our Thursday. High temperatures will be in the low 70s by Thursday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
So there's that old expression, FAFO, bleep around, find out.
Sure.
I think we all know what the F stands for there. By the way, I'm Jason Hammer. Jim filling in for Nige today. And we thought peace deal was locked in. Everything was good. The Israelis, Hamas, Donald Trump in the middle. We thought everything was copacetic here. Well, to quote Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. So as part of this 21-point peace plan to end the war on the Gaza Strip and expand the Abraham Accords, Hamas turned over the remaining living hostages, and that was good, right? We could all agree. Giving the hostages back, a good thing.
Huge win.
But now the terrorist group is again trying to get cute by not turning over the bodies of the murdered hostages, the remains over to the families, failing to disarm, and engaging in violence against other Palestinian tribes on the Gaza Strip. Doesn't sound very peaceful to me. Here is Donald Trump earlier today.
But we have told them we want to disarm, and they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes, you say
because
quickly.
everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm. And I spoke to Hamas, and I said, you're going to disarm, right? Yes, sir, we're going to disarm. That's what they told me. They will disarm or we will disarm them. Got it?
I tell you, it reminds me, Rush Limbaugh famously had a phrase that he used a lot. It was always, ours is a world governed by the aggressive use of force. And you'd like to think that that's not the case, but it is the case. And the reason that Hamas signed this peace deal even to start with and returned the living hostages was because Israel went in there and flattened it, and partly also because, Trump went and bombed Iran. And when... It's unlike Biden. When Biden made threats, they were empty threats and you knew he wasn't going to back it up. But when Trump says something like that, there is weight behind it and you've got to believe him.
And especially when you look at who is running the Department of War, as it's dubbed now, Pete Hegseth, you look at him cross-eyed. He's ready to send the war fighter, right? Don't push the line here because this is not the president to do that. And it just goes to show when you're dealing with a lot of these lunatics, and they are lunatics overseas, it's not as easy as peace deal's done. Let's queue up, give peace a chance. Let's all smoke some weed. Everybody's going to hug it out. That's not how these things play out.
Yeah, these are the same people that invaded Israel 2 years ago and killed a couple thousand people and took 250 hostages. They're not good guys. You're not going to follow the rules. So part of this is not a surprise. Also not going to be a surprise if either the United States or Israel has to go in there and smack them around a little bit to get things back on track.
You heard the news at the top of the hour. Government shutdown rolls on. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
As somebody that follows politics but also follows the news cycle, is anybody in your inner circle affected by the government shutdown right now? And the reason I ask is that if you watch any news network, whether it be Fox or CNN, both sides of the aisle, listen to, various news talk radio stations, you would think government shutdown was affecting so many people. And I know it probably is affecting somebody listening right now. But for the most part, I don't think people would even know what's taking place if TV and news talk radio didn't exist.
Yeah, this has been kind of a nothing burger. My parents are still getting their Social Security checks every single month or whatever it is. And like you went on vacation and you still got into the national parks even. I mean, I remember the last government shutdown in 2019. That's what the news was talking about. Nobody's going to be able to go to the national parks. Those are still open. So it does kind of seem like a big nothing burger, and okay, and you're exactly right. There's certainly going to be some people that this does affect them, but that's a pretty small percentage of the population.
It feels like the media and the government, and I put them both on the same level of responsibility here, they act like the government is such a big part of your life. How are you going to function? Are you aware this is day 19 of a government shutdown? Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time.
Right.
It's been pretty solid.
The leftists think that daddy government has to hold our hand and do everything for us. But we're finding out, all of us finding out pretty quickly, that's not the case.
I need the military, I need the border, and Social Security. And that's it. Like, I'm pretty basic when it comes to my needs from the government. The military, the border, Social Security. Some of those are in better positions than the other right now. But that's it. I don't need the government to be my daddy. Now, I would like for it to be open. If given the choice of having it open or closed, I would prefer open. But as I've said before, there's a line in the old Eddie Murphy movie, Coming to America, where he takes Arsenio Hall's spending money. If you have no more money, you can cause no more mischief. That's where I'm at with the government.
And where was he anyway? Still in the hot tub, wasn't he? Arsenio Hall was still in the hot tub. And that's part of this, too, is there's the vast majority of the government is still up and functioning. I mean,
Right.
the military's
Like 70%
there. Social
still at
Security
work.
checks are still going out. Medicare's still being taken care of. The vast majority of the government is still functioning, which is probably a big reason why most of us really couldn't even tell.
According to a list of the spookiest places in America, here we are, middle of October, spookiest places in America, just based off their name: Dead Man Lake in Alaska, Slaughter Beach in Delaware, Bloody Gulch Road in Illinois, and Murderers Creek in Oregon. Which of those terrifies you more? Dead Man Lake, Slaughter Beach, Bloody Gulch, or Murderers Creek?
Slaughter Beach. It sounds like you're going to the beach. It's going to be great. But I mean, that kind of gives the image of a Friday the 13th movie and Jason Voorhees and the hockey mask over his face, and he's going to take out an entire group full of teenagers. Yeah, I would think that Slaughter Beach to me, plus the word slaughter, that just sounds scary and ominous.
It does, but then you remember the old hair band Slaughter, and they weren't quite as hard as you would think they should be. They had Fly to the Angels and some other hits. It's like the old Norm Macdonald joke. I expected Savage Garden to be a little more savage than that. I expected Slaughter to be a little more Slaughter-like than they were.
Tough to be scared of guys who have haircuts like Heather Locklear, too.
Right. Exactly right. We did something earlier where we put some scary music behind an old speech of Hillary Clinton. Because it's October, let's do the same thing, but this time, let's edit in audio of Joe Biden doing that creepy whisper thing that he used to do.
I got them. $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential. I wrote the bill on the environment. Pay them more. What's happening?
It's pretty frightening. I think that scares me more than Hillary just because of the creepy whisper.
I wrote the bill.
First of all, no, you didn't.
AutoPen signed the bill.
If you're looking for a reason to drink tonight, Jim.
Yeah, always.
How about celebrating the 55th birthday of R&B performer Genuine? The man responsible for this song, Pony, which I'm sure you've probably done a strip tease to your wife Casey before too, right?
Did it before she left town today. Yeah, exactly. Just a couple hours ago.
This song was everywhere in the mid to late 90s, and of course it became the inspiration in the Magic Mike movie. So let's do great moments in Genuine Pony history. Here's when White Ginger Ed Sheeran did a cover of that song.
Ooh.
If you're on it, let's do it. Ride it, my pony, my saddle's waiting. So come and jump on it. If you're on it, let's do it.
It's not bad.
Ride it, my pony.
Like if you're sitting like in a bar and somebody starts doing that, you're listening, right?
The whitest guy in the world sucked all of the rhythm and soul out of that song completely.
All right, fine. I'll try to win you back with this.
All right.
It's the Magic Mike Pence mix.
Mr. Chairman, delegates, friends, and my fellow Americans, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am deeply humbled by your confidence, and on behalf of my family,
he's loosening the tie
here and gone, I accept your nomination to run and serve as President of the United States of America.
He's ripped off the shirt at this
Get ready
point.
for little Mike.
Karen sitting in the front row, got a bunch of ones in her hand. That's my outlaw. Great moments in Genuine Pony history. Magic Mike Pence. Matt Bear.
That was amazing. Looking at southbound 465 on the east side, stop and go traffic 70 down to 74. Inbound 65, 4-minute delay from 21st to Meridian. Southbound 65, 73-minute delay, north split to the south split because of construction. Inbound 69, stop and go 106th Street to 465. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We need 22 more people. 22 to go to the WIBC YouTube page. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up. That gets us to 150, and that is a big middle finger to the 20-year-old people that work in the digital department in the back that probably don't like my politics and give me crap for any reason they can get. If you got somebody you work with that is kind of like what I'm dealing with here, help a brother out here. I need 22 more people. Go to the WIBC YouTube page. Give us a like. Got to get to 150. Coming up next, how about this? Producer Allison is going to host a fun round of Are You Okay With This? That's next.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Hammer and Nigel here. Guys, how's your energy feeling? You feel a little tired, a little lethargic, could be low testosterone, so you need to take action right now with Synergen X and the Low T Center. Here in Indy, it can help you reclaim some energy with a quick and simple, and most importantly, free testosterone test. So visit a local Synergen X or Low T center and receive pharmaceutical-grade testosterone, never compounded like other clinics, and experienced providers that are coming up with a plan specific for you. Book that free test right now at trtmvp.com. Most health insurance is accepted. trtmvp.com. Start living your best life again. Get more energy. Look better. Feel better. Get some libido back, baby. You know what I'm talking about. trtmvp.com. Book that appointment right now. Get that free T test.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
Subject to credit approval. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for complete offer details. Offer ends 10/31/2025.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, an independent American Standard Platinum customer care dealer. Jim Scott is the owner, and he's ready to take his success into Boone and Hamilton counties.
We have a lot of high-quality equipment. We do high-quality jobs. We do our own duct fabrications. We have service contracts. So with the value that we built because of our 5-star rating, the other counties, as much growth as there is, there's just not enough contractors.
Put the best to work for you at jimsheating-air.com. Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
As proud sports medicine partners of the Indianapolis Indians, Butler University, Purdue University, and the Indiana Sports Corporation, Franciscan Health is here to keep our community moving. Whether you're a weekend warrior or high school champ, we offer injury evaluations, concussion testing, and personalized recovery plans to help you get back out there. Because when you love the game, we love getting you back in it. Call 317-781-1133 or visit franciscanhealth.org/sportsmedindy.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Ultra, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Ultra helps Mike fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs, so he can wake up refreshed and ready to conquer Monday.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
All right, so this is how it's going to work.
Okay.
Today, the lovely and talented Miss Allison is going to run a couple different options by us,
Okay.
and we will break down whether or not we are okay with it. Here we go.
Hammer, do I have to do this first one?
Read it, Allison.
I did not pick this. All right. Kim Kardashian has unveiled her new Skims line of, and I quote, pubic hair thongs. It's a retro-themed thong with fur on the crotch. Skims with faux bush. Are you okay with this, Hammer?
I want you to see what it looks like, Allison. Go to the Hammer and Nigel Show Twitter right now, at Hammer and Nigel.
Okay.
It's a story posted from TMZ, but you'll see firsthand what we're talking about here.
Ooh.
These aren't real pubes, but it's faux pubes.
Wow, those are more realistic than I thought.
Right? So I am going to say I am okay with it. Now, it's not something that I plan on buying the coupon lady anytime soon. I don't know if Casey's getting this for Christmas or not, Jim, but if a Kardashian is behind it, people will buy it and she will make money on it. So if you're into the entrepreneurial spirit, I can't be mad at Kim.
Yeah, she's a billionaire. She's a good businesswoman. Love her or hate her, the girl knows how to make money. So I'm not going to judge her on that. But just from this picture that I saw from the tweet that you sent out, that's not. I mean, that's a lot. There's a lot going on there.
That's like 70s like.
It is just running wild.
And a color for everybody.
Right. You know, if you're a ginger, there's one for you. If you're blonde, you can get one where the carpet matches the drapes.
I mean, it's like ZZ Top down there. There is the volume is impressive.
Right? Some of these look like you've got Don King in a leg lock. Allison, your thoughts on these?
To Jim's point, she's a businesswoman, and I guarantee you these will probably sell out.
So what type of relationship would we have moving forward?
No, Hammer. If
already
at Christmas time, Nige and I got you a gift.
What's HR's email again?
And this was part of the gift.
HR@urban1.com.
Here's a little bit more. I think this is the actual commercial for this Kim Kardashian faux bush thong line.
New from Kim Kardashian Skims, it's thongs with faux bush.
Bush.
Ladies, if you've longed for a toupee for your vajayjay, it's here. For millions of women, they can finally say, see, I am a real blonde. Thongs with faux bush. Comes in 12 shades. Why you'd ever pick ginger is beyond me.
Hey.
Finally, the triangle is back. Thongs with faux bush. Wherever fake muffs are sold. Or you could do it the old-fashioned way and grow it wild.
There you go. That's the official commercial, I believe, for this new line from Kim Kardashian. Doesn't get any better than this, does it, Allison?
Welcome back, Hammer.
Let's move on.
All right, please. Fear Factor is returning in January. Ooh, on Fox. Now hosted by Johnny Knoxville, which makes sense. Are you okay with this?
I am okay with this. I liked the old Fear Factor. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like one of the original hosts
He
of
was
this?
the host. He was the Jeff Probst of Fear Factor, yeah.
This is where, like, you'd have to put your hand into some sort of thing with scorpions in it, or they'll lay you in, like, this big coffin-like thing loaded with snakes.
The worst was when they made people eat stuff. Like, they would have to eat, like, buffalo testicles and the intestines of a giraffe and all of this. That was the part that I couldn't take, was when they had to eat gross stuff.
But I'm good with this, and I like Johnny Knoxville. Like, maybe it's the dude in me, but I always laughed at his stuff on Jackass.
Well, and this is, he seems like a perfect host for this because you're doing a bunch of outrageous, crazy things as part of Fear Factor. Johnny Knoxville wrote the book on doing a bunch of crazy, outrageous things on TV. So a perfect selection for the host.
All right. According to a new survey, over a third of people say they would have done their college experience differently if they could. Are you okay with this?
Yeah, I'm okay with this, and I'm probably in that camp. Would have focused way more on academics and way less on chicks and booze.
You're so lying. You would not change that.
Oh, I think I would.
Wow.
Just a little bit.
Really?
Just a little bit. Like, the way I handle booze now and do this show is a good balance. 20-year-old me, 21-year-old me, there was no balance. Like, there was waking up in watery ditches.
Yeah, and so was mine, but I'm going to take the opposite position because I'm not okay with this because if I could enroll tomorrow, I would go back to school. My daughter went to Purdue. Every time my wife and I went to visit her at West Lafayette, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm going to kick one of your roommates. I'm moving next door.
You were Frank the Tank on every visit.
I was Frank the Tank, and I absolutely, every time I'm on a college campus, whether I go back to Notre Dame for a football game or I'm at IU or Purdue, just something in me. I get that itch to just wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and start drinking beers until 3 o'clock that evening. I love,
you can still do that now. Some of us make a very good living doing that now.
The problem is jobs, responsibilities, bills. You have a lot less responsibilities when you're in college. And so if you kind of blow off an entire week and do nothing but get hammered, you can get away with that. I can't get away with that now.
That's a good point. All right, coming up next, our weekly check-in with Tony Kennett of the Daily Signal, the Tonus. We're going to get his thoughts on the No Kings rally, the Young Republicans controversy, everything and in between. Tony Kennett's coming up right after Jake does the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
3 people were arrested on felony charges today. Skies are cloudy, 70 degrees in downtown Indy. Tonight's low is 55. I'm Jake McDaniel. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing, and here's what's trending at 529. It was for a central Indiana investigation linked to human trafficking crimes. John Herrick reports.
All 3 of them are charged with corrupt business influence, while 2 of the 3 are also charged with promoting prostitution, while 1 adult victim was found and provided with services to help their recovery. State police say this investigation has been going on for more than a year, and they found these people working at businesses that were fronts for prostitution located in Indianapolis, Carmel, Kokomo, and Noblesville. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Rain is supposed to arrive in Indiana Saturday night and will linger into Sunday morning.
Still have a little bit of uncertainty with this. A lot of our model guidance has been kind of all over the place with timing on it.
That's Aaron Updike. He is a meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis. He says the southern part of the state is supposed to get the most rain, while smaller amounts are expected further north. A federal judge has issued an extension to keep the National Guard out of Portland, Oregon.
A U.S. district judge in Oregon extending temporary restraining orders blocking the Trump administration's deployment of National Guard troops to Portland for 2 weeks. The Trump administration has argued the troops are necessary to protect immigration enforcement officers, while Oregon's Democratic leaders have stressed there is no threat to national security in Portland and local officials have things under control. The decision comes as the Trump administration awaits a ruling from a 3-judge panel of the San Francisco-based 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals on whether to allow the deployment.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin reporting the Trump administration is already facing a legal challenge over deploying troops in Chicago. The administration had already previously sent the National Guard to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C. as well. The average price for gas in Indiana today is $2.91 a gallon, says AAA. That's 15 cents below the national average. And tonight on the college football schedule, Delaware will head to Alabama to take on Jacksonville State at 7 Eastern. UTEP will also take on Sam Houston at that time as well. It's 5:31. Your traffic now with Matt Baer.
All right, Jake, looking at southbound 6570, that's a construction delay from the north split to the south split. It's running at 4 minutes. Southbound 65, stop and go 29th to Meridian, and inbound 70 slows at Rural. Looking at inbound 69, cooled off, still slow, 96th Street, 282nd, and on the east side, southbound 465, stop and go traffic 7274, 5-minute delay. West side, southbound 465, slow from I-65 past Crawfordsville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry! Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com for details. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're in for a mostly cloudy Wednesday night. Low temperatures will drop into the low to mid 50s, and then we'll see sunshine return for our Thursday as skies turn mostly sunny. High temperatures will find their way into the lower 70s with dry air and light winds in place. Friday, cloud coverage will increase once again, but that does not stop it from being another nice day to end the work week as high temperatures get into the low to mid 70s by Friday afternoon. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jake McDaniel on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Joining us now on the hotline, he's America's investigative reporter. We gave him that nickname a couple weeks ago. Nobody has called him that since then, but we're going to keep doing it. Tony Kennett of the Daily Signal and the Tony Kennett Cast. How are you, my friend?
I am just fantastic and also simultaneously pissed at everyone and a grumpy old man.
Well, let's get into it. And I think the question I was going to ask you needs to be revised here. It's not a matter of if you're going to attend, but how many No Kings rallies will you be taking part in when those bad boys get fired back up later this week?
Now, look, I've got the Mickey Mouse map so that I can go to all of these different rallies, only instead of the Mickey ears, it's like a drag queen on the cover. And what I've seen so far is that there are some No Kings rallies that are planned that may have as many as 3 people attending.
Whoa!
So, I know. Tickets are going fast, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to stand next to all of the people in your town who don't wear deodorant, they will be conveniently located at one of these No Kings protest rally things that last time, I think the only thing that came out of it was a bunch of people got hit with the black smoke exhaust from pickup trucks driving by. I think that was the only thing that came out of them.
Now, you're the investigative reporter here, but do these people know, Tony, that we don't have a king?
Well, I would hope that they would know we don't have a king, but then again, in the last election, they forewent their primary process to hand pick a corpse to kind of marionette string Louis XVIII style. So maybe they do think we have kings, and they just don't like the one that they think we have. I'm confused, but they're more confused.
I can totally see you like driving by the State House later this week when the No Kings rallies make their way to Indy with like a novelty newspaper just yelling at him, "You did it! You did it! No king in the United States! Congratulations!" And just seeing their reaction.
I thought about going undercover, but I have too much testosterone, and I just stick out like a sore thumb. So I don't really know how I would sneak into this one. Maybe it'll be like when I was in Chicago at the DNC, which actually is where I might be headed. I might just show up and accidentally take over the whole protest. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with some chants. We'll have fun.
You know, joking aside here, what is the point of these No Kings rallies? Do we know who's funding these? Because they're very well organized, which, you know, we've seen this movie before from the left in this country, a well-organized series of organic protests. Where are these things coming from?
Well, that's a totally different question than, like, what is the point? What are they hoping to accomplish? Where they're coming from is just the left that has nothing else except kind of organizing a protest with a pretty poster. And the poster may not be pretty, but, I mean, you know, it's mass-produced, that kind of a thing. As for the purpose of them, there is an entire class of old liberal white ladies who are really, really, really mad. There are no pictures of them in like a civil rights march. And of course, they would have hated Dr. King, but they really want everyone to think that they're just as brave as those who marched alongside MLK. And so they'll go to any protest that they can think of and stand out in the sun for a whopping 26 minutes and yell and scream like an old tone-deaf choir that Barney Fife would direct. And they get out there and they shake their flabby arms. You know the flabby arms I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like the awkward, saggy arm shake. And they yell because they have no purpose. Their kids don't want to be around them. Their grandkids sure don't want to be around them. But they got to get out there and yell because the Hamilton School Southeastern School Board meeting is not until next week. So they got to fill the time somehow.
And is this a Soros-funded thing? Like, do we have any sort of paper trail on who's behind these?
I don't know how to say this. The No Kings protests are not really important enough to be Soros funded. They're that sad and pathetic. We saw this last time because we were expecting when you do funding, where does the funding go? Does it actually just go to paying protesters? Does it go to providing materials? We have new footage. Again, one of the reasons I might be in Chicago, there are suspicious U-Hauls and other rented trucks that are showing up with riot supplies like mass-purchased gas masks and trash cans cut into riot shield shapes and other things that are handed out. Well, what do you deliver to a No Kings protest? I mean, you don't need to deliver prophylactics because nobody's getting laid there. So what do you deliver? Like, what do you pass out to people? Earplugs? I don't really know what there is to fund there other than, I guess, the coverage that I'm going to make fun of on the show later.
All right, so let's talk about Chicago then. You may be heading there, but last couple of weekends, there's been action, more so than usual in Chicago, which is a bold statement in itself. The ICE against, in some instances, it feels like members of the police department, the local government, these protesters in Chicago. I guess we could call it riots in Chicago. Tony, walk me through what's going on.
Yeah, so it becomes a riot the minute that there are people in the crowd which commit a crime or are encouraging crime to occur. That's when it becomes a riot by legal definition. And if you don't like that legal definition, sorry, that is one of the most established precedents of American law from the 1950s through the 1970s. It was actually used in a court case later referenced about Newcastle being put under martial law. Just fun fact there for you. So as far as riots are concerned, yes, the protests in Chicago have become riots. They have thrown rocks at law enforcement, which throwing a rock at federal law enforcement is bad enough. You chuck a rock at a Chicago Police Department officer's head, and you're just asking to have his mahogany 1898 union-busting truncheon shoved up your rear end. That is a dumb move. I have met the Chicago police officers when I was in for the DNC last year. Man, when the police chief's not looking, those guys get rough and tough. So I got to say, as far as Chicago is concerned, I don't think Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker are going to be able to hold it. However, the riots are going to escalate before this all ends, and that's why I might have to go up and cover some of it on the ground because, man, it's been a whole year since I've covered a riot, and Jason, I miss it.
It's almost riot season, right? That's what we're
really
getting into. You mentioned Chicago police, and I think that's interesting. Now, I know some officers don't represent the entire group, but what do we make?
Sucks.
I was going to say, what do we make of this audio that got leaked out of? In essence, it sounds like on the call, the police department leaving ICE agents kind of high and dry to fend for themselves when they needed a little backup.
So what we found out, at least that we found out since, from the Fraternal Order of Police in Chicago, that they hate the leadership. I mean, they just despise them. They're a bunch of panty-waisted, goofball, fat kids sitting in high leadership positions in Chicago who are more likely to be given the My Wife and award than actually solve any crime. Those are the guys that have been appointed to run the Chicago Police Department. Average officers who are protecting the city. You guys know this best here with Indianapolis. You've got Ryan Mears letting out whoever the IMPD catches. It is unfortunately a fact of the matter that while Brandon Johnson and his police department and those also from around Chicago, not just in the city's jurisdiction, they're going to make bad decisions that may put them in a legally liable place, but it's definitely not your on-the-ground Chicago police officer that's doing this junk.
And one of the stories that happened while I was gone on vacation was here in Indy, because you bring up Ryan Mears. He is trying so hard to be Mr. Billy Badass, Mr. Johnny Tough Guy to the rest of the nation about this Mark Sanchez story. Is anybody buying that? Like, I saw the very woke, very soft on crime, very Holcomb appointed judge magically recused herself yesterday. I'm sure there was absolutely, positively, and I'm winking at you when I say this, no pushing from the prosecutor's office for her to do that, because they want a win so they can look like heroes nationally. Is anybody buying this?
No, they're not buying it, and you don't need to wink at me. We're not at a No Kings rally. But as far as the goofball nonsense regarding Ryan Mears trying to look tough, even, for example, I have a friend that works over at the Chicago Tribune. They're not buying it. He's a laughingstock. He's a laughingstock at the DNC, which is really embarrassing. How are you, as a Democrat super prosecutor, fresh fruit Rudy and Tootie out here trying to act tough? Even the DNC won't touch you. I mean, it's just how bad he is at his job.
The DNC let Tim Walz prance on stage, but they laugh at Ryan Mears. Let that sink in.
Well, it's more the idea that if you're not the front man that's out there actually doing things, Ryan Mears is so incompetent. I'm pretty sure the man's wearing two left shoes right now, and his feet point the other way. So it's really awkward to watch.
But they're Jordan shoes, so that's what makes him hip and cool, and it relates to inner youth and Indy, right?
Yeah, I'm sure getting in and out of that desk chair is important for high ankle support wearing the Air Jordans. Good for him.
Come back for one more segment.
You got it.
Tony Kennett, host of the Tony Kennett Cast with us. He's coming right back. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Everybody knows Hubler's got the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles. But did you know? Now you can get that same limited powertrain warranty on new Toyotas. Introducing the all-new Hubler Toyota. Get grand opening savings all month long. And right now, lease a new 2025 RAV4, just $349 per month. Or a new Tacoma, $289 per month. Plus, choose from Camrys, Corollas, Highlanders, Tundras, and more.
Hubler's got you covered.
At the all-new Hubler Toyota on US 31 South in Indianapolis. Visit HublerToyota.com. Grand opening savings and the best warranty around. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Cover me!
Select models, approved credit, plus tax tag, title license, 249 dealer doc, RAV4 model 4432, Tacoma model 7540, 36 months, $29.99 due, zero security, 10,000 annual miles, 15 cents per mile thereafter, expires 11/2.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com. Custom jewelry is not out of reach with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. At PA Jewelers, you can customize any piece of jewelry for that special someone. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse in Brownsburg. Gold, diamonds, gemstones, and of course those watches from Flederman Von Riest, assembled right here in Indiana. Custom designed jewelry with PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse. Custom jewelry made just for you. PA Jewelers, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. PAJewelers.jewelry.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's JMV and save 20% now on interior fall decor, up to 50% off select nursery items at Miss M's Home and Garden, State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the latest looks all for under $30. With new arrivals every day, you never know what you'll find. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
Want in on special WIBC contests?
That is correct.
Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393. Exclusive giveaways are just a text away.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads.
All right, Hammer, looking at inbound 70 stop-and-go traffic, rural into the north split end. Southbound 6570 is delayed 6 minutes, north split to the south split because of construction. East side southbound 465 slow from 70 to 74. That's a 7-minute delay. West side pockets of slow, southbound 465 west 56th Street down to Crawfordsville Road. Traffic sponsored by Indy Decorative Concrete. Transform your backyard this fall with Indy Decorative Concrete. Get a free outdoor furniture set with their best stamped concrete patio package. Hurry. Offer ends November 1st. Visit IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
69 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make that booty. You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Back with America's investigative reporter, Tony Kennett from the Daily Signal. He's got a program coming on tonight, right after us, 7 o'clock here at 93 WIBC. So what's going on with the young Republicans? Again, I've been out in the middle of nowhere for about a week. Went up into the Wyoming, Jackson area, into the national parks. I've been kind of isolated, and I come back and I see that there's drama with the young Republicans. What the hell?
So first of all, and I'm going to say something that's not going to make me popular, the Young Republicans is an irrelevant organization. It is essentially an organization of Republicans who are most likely to be state-level staffers. Sorry, I know there's a lot of YRs who I'm friends with, but they are an irrelevant organization. They just are on the national level. There's far better staffing organizations. That said, the opposite of you vacationing in Wyoming, a very fat New York Republican. Now, New York Republicans are about as useful as feet on a fish. So just keep that in mind. There was a group chat where a bunch of chubby, between their 20s and 30s, young Republican members said dark jokes. And some of the things that they said were really objectively gross. They said some really racist stuff. They said some words you probably shouldn't say in a group chat or any kind of chat that could be leaked or should say it all in general. And they carried out some rather dark jokes. Now, a couple of things here. First of all, I'm going to level with everyone. If you think that 3/4 of this country are not inside group chats where people say raunchy stuff, I don't know what you're smoking, but that is just something people do. I've seen left-wing group chats where they've said horrible stuff, right-wing group chats where they've said horrible stuff. It's dark jokes. Ask Dave Chappelle. Dark humor is something people use to cope with how things are in the world today. That said, you post things in a group chat, which they did, and it got leaked. You're asking for it. Anything that you post or send. You know, this is why I tell Nigel, please don't send me nudes, because they will be leaked to the public.
And to which he ignores those
internet.
normally. He just ignores that advice.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, I'm a little scared of being hacked. I'm not going to lie. No, in all seriousness regarding this story, the Democrats are trying to make this their big thing because they have an attorney general candidate in Virginia who had texts calling for the murder of his former political opponent's wife and children and also a bunch of police officers. They're trying to use this to say all Republicans are Nazis, like here's the proof. No, I don't think so. But there's also some woke moralists on the right trying to bend over backwards to tell us all how wonderful they are because they're denouncing this publicly. And I think it's kind of embarrassing because it's not really a big deal. But I guess we're going to sit here and argue about a fat man saying the N-word. Okay.
What is coming up on the big show at 7 o'clock tonight?
Well, not a fat man saying the N-word. I can tell you that. We're not having any of that on the show.
No repeats on the Tony Kennett cast. They've already done that episode.
No, we got to cover more riot stuff. There's some breaking information regarding the China escalation. President Trump picked Argentina up and used it to smack Xi in the face. Now, there's some pretty cool stuff regarding it. We're going to talk about it.
That is coming up right after our show, 7 o'clock here on 93 WIBC. And also check him out at the Daily Signal and on Twitter at The Tonus. Tony Kinnett, my man. We'll do it again next week.
You got it. Take care.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer and Nigel here for our guy, Bill Demery. And it's not just our guy, he's our retirement guy, based here in Indy. And listen, if your retirement savings are tied up in the market right now, this could be the smart time to protect and grow your savings outside of Wall Street. One attractive option gives you 20% upfront bonus, and it has a competitive return that's averaged 10% annually for the last 10 years. Now listen, that sounds like a lot of information, but when you set up that free, and that's the key word here, free consultation with Bill Demery, he will make it make sense. So call Bill Demery today, your retirement guy here in Indy, 317